You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for ninny McNinny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
And welcome to Nerd Rage Radio, episode 147, with your host, Mr. Bobby Skullface.
Hello.
And I'm Adam Russman. And it's been a day. It's been a day for sure.
Busy
day.
Busy little bees.
So I got out of work super fucking late today. And
here's your busy bee. Got your busy bee.
This is a parrot. It's not a bee.
It's a busy bee.
That movie is so fucking awesome. Anyway, so all right, in the janitorial services, a lot of people use digital systems to make sure that people are where they need to be. So sometimes next time you're at the airport looking around the trash can, there's probably a barcode above it or next to it, and somebody comes through there and they scan it and they empty the trash can. And it seems simple to you, but when you're dealing with a place where hundreds of thousands of people travel, not hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, and they're putting their trash in, you got to track all that stuff, make sure people are doing it and whatnot. Anyway, employees who don't want to do their job and having to deal with them, I'm having one of those situations right now, and it is fucking frustrating, bro.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, frustrating.
Shitty people.
And this person is doing more work getting out of work than doing the work.
That's how it always is.
I mean, it's crazy.
You know, people that are that way.
Yeah, I mean, what's your problem, bro?
Like if you just invested half of that effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Into your job.
Absolutely.
It's like my father talking.
Yeah, it does sound like your father. Well, Bob,
if you would just put half as much time as you did remembering lines from The Golden Child as you did into your studies.
I kind of feel like that is a true story.
It is actually a true story. I used to love, I'm going to roll your ass till it bleeds.
So it happens. Oh, no wonder. I was like, why am I so low? And that's why I was so low. The mic was actually low. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and start out with my Nerd Week.
Please do.
I saw a couple motion pictures.
Did you really?
I did. I went and saw The Incredibles 2.
How was that?
It was okay. All right, so I love the first Incredibles movie.
Uh-huh.
You know, best Fantastic Four movie ever made.
Sure.
Even though there's 5 of them with the baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
it's not really a Fantastic Four movie, but I just love the concept of it. I love the world. I love the whole, the concept of the supers becoming illegal and like the government still kind of putting in some protective code. Honey, where's my super suit? Still one of the best lines out there. And it was a good world. I like the family dynamic. It does capture that family thing that is the Fantastic Four. I think it's why a lot of people kind of refer to it as Fantastic Four.
I agree. And I mean, there's some of the ones.
Yeah,
super
invisible.
Strong, and one's invisible
Yeah. Super stretchy. And just one person.
Super stretchy.
Yeah. Like if you were.
Dude, you know so-and-so? Stretchy as fuck. Good night. I thought I was stretchy.
So it's a good movie, but like here's the thing, man. If I go see a kids movie in the theater, I do expect it to entertain my child to the level where they don't move around and get restless.
And it did not.
Failed to do that.
Huh? That sucks.
Because I think the concept of it was almost too adult. So I enjoyed it, but I was distracted because my kids weren't enjoying it.
I wonder if it's at all related to the sequel taking like 15 years to come out.
14 years.
Do you know what I mean? Like
That's
I wonder if
crazy.
it was a conscious choice. Like they were like if there was a part of them that was like, this movie is for almost the 20-year-old that saw this when they were 5.
That may have had something to do with it. So I did enjoy it. It was the villain was very it was fucking obvious. Like they try to do a twist on it, but it was like obvious. Like, oh, this is dumb. But it wasn't done in a hateful way. But and the premise of that character's strife with superheroes kind of makes sense. So that was fine. The animation is kind of is funny because everybody looks normal except Mr. incredible. Like he looks great. Like
I heard his hair grew back.
His hair did grow back a little bit.
Heard he doesn't have the bald spot anymore.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. But I will tell you, the angle of his brow and his nose, like his nose comes straight up to his forehead. Like there is no like little divot. It like protrudes out. Like the bridge of his nose is forward past his nostrils, and so is his forehead.
Did you ever see the side note? Just speaking of bridges, did you ever see
Bridges in Madison County?
Did you ever?
No,
did you
I
ever
never
see
saw it.
Mr. Sunday Movie's review of Black Panther. It's pretty funny.
Best movie ever?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Right. But at the end of the thing, he's talking about like the bonus scenes in Black Panther.
Yeah.
He's like, and T'Challa comes out to say, I got this and that, and Wakanda's a pretty nice place, and people are like, oh, but wait, I thought it was all goat farmers and sort of drear. And he's like, well, I have a cat suit that's bulletproof. It says otherwise. but then he like continues on, and he's like, then he goes on to say, the wise build bridges while the fools build barriers, which some would say is sort of reminiscent of something that might be going on in the world. And like in the background, like Donald Trump's face is becoming like less and less opaque. And he's like, which is to say that to Fitzgerald Construction, who's doing wonderful things.
Brilliant. So, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'll buy it when it comes out on a Divid or Blu-ray.
Well, that's good.
I think we're on Blu-ray now.
That's pretty big of you.
Well, I say that, and of course, when the time comes, I'm probably full of shit because I've been a lazy purchaser here recently. I just don't want to spend money on anything. I don't know why it is, unless it's fucking moles. And dude, let me tell you. There is a difference between knockoffs and a knockoff. I found that out the hard way. Were you there for that one?
I don't think so.
Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, Incredibles 2. I give it. See, I feel like I'm giving it I want to give it like a 7. I don't think it deserves a 7. I think it probably deserves an 8. I mean, the action scene's really good. The pacing was good. Like my biggest complaint is I went on Father's Day to see a kids movie with my kids, thinking that I would enjoy it too, because I love the first one, and we would all enjoy it. And I left just kind of aggravated because it was like not entertaining for them. And I'm talking like my kids are 8 and 9 that were out sitting adjacent to me.
Yeah, I mean that's
so I was like,
bummer.
Motherfucker.
That's a bummer. I mean, but my kids. Jaina's pretty much good to go, but Selena always gets restless, like during every movie at some point.
Well, dude, she's 4?
5.
5? Okay.
So like, I don't know. If
that's par for the course.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I'll take that.
And I know, like, you're not big on taking your kids to the movies unless it's like a special thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I take my kids to movies pretty frequently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think what also makes it complicated.
Oh, you want to go see, what is it called? Emoji Movie? Okay, we'll go see that.
Well, I think what makes it complicated for me is I still got the baby. So,
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, if they all could roll, we would go do it.
Yeah, using that excuse for the next 4 years, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks.
Hey, man, you know what to tell me?
It really puts a damper on things.
Dude, like, I keep on having a feeling that Pam's gonna get pregnant here. I'm gonna be like, oh god.
Well, you're not going about it the smartest way.
Why? We're using the fucking app and everything.
Right. That's what I said.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
No,
it's technology.
Dumb.
It's smart. Smart.
Stupid.
It's not, dude. It's not magic. Like, there's definitely science behind it.
Yes, but the older the unit becomes, for one,
the
more kids that you've had, the more irregular your system is. So if you have an app that's basing it on it's comparing it to a regular cycle.
No, it's comparing to her cycle. Like, she plugs in the information.
Sure, but it still has
algorithms, Bob.
But it still has to learn her cycle, and and if your cycles are regular, there's nothing to be learned.
She's in a regular cycle.
She said she did when she was here on the Patreon.
No, she wasn't talking about the time frame. She's talking about like some other stuff with it.
But anyway, I think you're playing. I personally think you're playing with fire.
Flow. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of the uterus, man.
I'm terrified.
Well, like, worst case scenario, if she has another baby, she'll just get that shit fixed.
Fetus deletus!
Get that shit fixed on the table when she's done having it. So Voltron Season 6 came out. Now, I should caveat this. Voltron Season 1 was like 10 episodes.
Okay.
Season 2 was 13 episodes. Season 3 was 6. Season 4 was like 7.
So your
Season
wife's
5 was 6.
And we got a ton of questions this week, all cracking on Joe being a fatherless man.
Oh man,
It's great.
oh I can't wait. So I say that to say this: they are 56 episodes into their 78 episode commitment for the show.
Okay.
All right, so saying they're in season 6 is kind of misleading when you're having
Right.
5 and 6 season episodes.
Right.
So I would say that this is the end of a proper season 2, like a proper 23 episodes a season, because it's 56. Right?
Sure, but you could give them, if you wanted to, you could give them Netflix seasons of like 13 if you did by 13.
But they only had a 10, a 13. You weren't listening to what I was saying.
No,
a
I
6,
was,
a 7, a
I-
6, a 7.
Right, but I'm saying that you'd still be far beyond season 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying.
we're gonna say 2. This is the end of the second major arc.
Okay.
Super awesome. I really enjoyed it. They tied out a lot of things they've been laying in. Not a good sign.
I don't know. Lay down, buddy.
Is this it?
He's been.
Is this the day? He's gonna say he's gonna.
crossed.
Huh?
Fingers crossed.
Why don't you guys just go take him and put him down?
Because I mean, he's not. I mean, he's not at that point yet.
He's not eating.
He's getting very close. No, he is eating. He's just.
Oh, he
turning it up.
is. Oh, okay. So he's not.
But we changed. We went to an all wet food, and he has been keeping that down better.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Um.
Anyway, they've been laying really, and I'm really disappointed, not in you, but like I'm disappointed you didn't like the first season of Voltron.
Yeah, and it's not that I didn't like
This
it.
is not your thing.
It just didn't grab
Because
me.
they've really done a good job of.
I didn't like it, but I don't think it's bad.
Okay,
I think it's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's just not for me.
Well, I would like. Let me rephrase it. I feel bad for me because I want to talk to you about different elements in it that they've gone some really interesting directions with, like, Pidge's brother that was lost, with the all the different characters. Find out one Keith's mother. You find out is, I don't want to ruin it for you that you're ever going to watch it, but they just done some really interesting things on the origins of Ultron. How everybody became evil and all that stuff, and the nature of that universe and whatnot. It's just really fucking awesome, man. So I highly recommend it, guys. If you've never watched any of the season, if you watched one, they really stepped up their game with it. It does seem very adult, but at the same time, they still keep that charm that you can watch it with your kids. And so that's what I was looking for with The Incredibles.
Right.
I do.
Right.
As much beef as I've had with family members, specifically my mom, growing up, not necessarily growing up, in my later years. One positive thing I'd say is there's a few shows that we used to get together and watch, like Star Trek, The Incredible Hulk, and stuff like that, Quantum Leap. And I always, I always had a taste for more adult television like that, even as a young man. And it is like, that is something that is a very positive experience. I do want to share that stuff with my children as well.
Well, growing up with people who were 50 and 70 years old that were raising me, I grew up with a number of adult entertainment classics as well. The Smothers Brothers.
Golden Girls, used to watch with my grandmother all the time.
Real cutting edge stuff.
Yeah, man.
The Smothers Brothers, they could play the kazoo.
Did you ever watch the Golden
Great
Girls with your grandma? Did she like that?
No. My grandma watched General Hospital every day. I couldn't stomach that.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I would sit down there and paint.
I
or
could
draw.
watch you As the World Turns with my grandmother.
And then she also watched EastEnders, which is like a British.
Isn't that an anime?
No. It's a British dude. What if it was? That would be fucking awesome. But if it was a British soap opera that came on like on Sundays, and like she did not fuck around with that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I was late getting to her house on Sunday, like
That was a wrap.
she'd be like, "Okay, time to start probably thinking about what you're gonna do with the rest of your day because EastEnders is about to come on."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like she wasn't
Dude,
missing.
what
an
if you
episode.
what if you could go back in time and bring to her a DVR with every episode of EastEnders ever? I wonder how happy she would be. Yeah, isn't that funny how Our children will never be a slave to a TV schedule at all.
Yeah, dude.
At all.
You know what's funny is like I think there's an element that sucks of that because
I agree.
I remember looking at the TV guide
Yeah, man.
on Sunday, like every
Yeah.
Sunday, like you just look throughout the week and see.
Well, my parents would never buy.
Die Hard's gonna be on Thursday at 8.
Yeah, my parents would never buy that buy TV guide.
No,
So
no, not the book, the one that came in the Sunday paper.
My parents wouldn't buy that either.
The
But
Sunday paper?
Yeah,
Oh.
fuck no.
Yeah, we
man.
got the Sunday paper.
So like I remember going to the Giant and like grabbing it off the aisle because it was always like in the aisle like before you got out, the cash aisle, the cash register
Right
aisle.
with the candy.
Yeah, and like I would like go through it real quick and like make little notes and shit because I always wanted the guide to TV. So anyway, Voltron season 6, really enjoyed it. So on my collectible updates, we did do an episode of Beer and Vultures 40K.
Had a great discussion. I went back
Yeah.
and listened to it. Like,
Was it good?
really, really solid. Like,
Nice.
I wish it was for Nerd Rage. Like, like it was a really.
Dude, we could push it out on Nerd Rage.
It was really like I still have it. I might recut it and throw it up on something like
Yeah, let's do it. Hey man, I don't care about sharing the wealth. We can make that happen.
that. It's just that we had a and you guys can feel free to download it from the Beer and Vultures.
Well,
on
I
iTunes
hope
or
you're
whatever.
listening to this. You download it and support it on the iTunes and as well.
But it's
But we'll bring it here as well.
It's called Toxicity in the Fandom or something like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
and oh no, it was Casualties of Toxicity.
Oh yeah.
And
Dude, shout out to Alex too.
dude, awesome dude.
Yeah.
Awesome
So
dude. Like I didn't, only time I met him before was right after TLJ.
yeah.
And we didn't really get time to, it was me fighting off all your fucking cronies at the time. So I didn't really
Not
get
my
time to-
cronies. They see my people think for themselves.
No,
Yes, they do.
not a fact.
That's
So
very,
I was
very much a fact.
Some of them, I'm sure. But I was getting into, fending all them off with a fucking bat. And so they were all like nameless and faceless to me at the time. It
Yeah.
was just, what I mean? It
Adversaries.
just got masked men.
You're such a drama queen sometimes.
So anyway, like having a chance to like really sit and talk with
Yeah,
him. And,
yeah.
Like, dude,
He's
awesome
good people,
dude,
man.
Solid dude.
Yeah. So he's in Germany right now. Oh, he might be in the UK right now. He flew to Germany. So Alex, he inherited a place from his dad. He sold it. So he's been like kind of couch surfing here for a while. And so yeah, he stayed with us for like a week. Awesome house guest. Dude, the best
Well, he's got it down pat, I'm sure.
the best house guests are the ones you don't even realize they're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and their low maintenance ones.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
Cody,
Gave us a thank you card at the end and
Cody's a great house guest.
Yeah, man. So and like I love hosting, and it's funny when when we lived in Pennsylvania and a few of my side businesses, we would literally have sometimes 3 to 4 weeks worth of house guests consecutively. Like one person would be there for a week, they would leave the next day, somebody else would come for a week.
Mhm.
And that was kind of par for the course where my kids were like quite used to it after a while. Now let's make sure I understand that the Russman household has a one penis policy, so don't get construed about the house guests thing. All right, it's not that kind of party.
Mine is. There's a number of determining factors. Like I'm not ruling any. I'm not gonna.
A pair of nice great tits will cancel out a penis,
Yeah, I'm
right?
not gonna.
If it's on the same
I'm
unit.
not throwing any vast generalizations.
So anyway, but one cool thing that Alex and I got to do during the week is it kind of gave me an excuse to go down there and hobby a little bit more. So I've had this boxes of terrain. So for our club, and a lot of people ask me about. I actually got an email from Games Workshop recently.
shit.
They're like, "Hey, listen, we were like looking through Meetup for like 40K clubs, and we realized that you guys have like fucking 5 years worth of clubs, and you're always doing activities, and we just wanted like they wanted to invite us to some opening."
That's awesome.
It was awesome, but it was like in Georgia or some
Right,
shit. So
right,
like, I'm not saying, hey guys, listen, let's talk. I'd love to talk to you or do something in the future, but I'm not driving down to Georgia for something.
That's awesome, though, man.
Yeah, it is.
Can I say
Congratulations. But we do get a lot of questions from people that want to start off a club. Anyway, so one thing that we do collect dues. Now I don't profit on the club any which way. The money usually goes to buying new codexes for the club. Like for example, we have every codex for 8th edition. I don't even play 8th edition, but anybody like the cards that are there and the terrain and whatnot. So usually at the beginning of the year I get some kind of plan. And a lot of stuff I come out of pocket as well of what we're going to purchase. So last year I purchased a bunch of terrain and just kind of sat around in boxes. We have a lot of terrain, but shit gets old. It gets busted. You want to get some new stuff, and they have some new sets coming out really soon, which I'm really excited about. So there's
your skill set raises too.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I'm trying to get somebody else to come over and help me with some terrain.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things.
Do you?
Exciting things.
So we just sat around and like unclipped shit, like off a sprue, and just bullshitted and came up with some ideas from terrain and pulled it out. And it was just fun, man. So that actually inspired me to do a couple different meetups for three meetup tries, like on Friday nights, like every other Friday night, opposite of our game day weekend, where guys just come around for a few hours and just work on terrain or work on like painting, but like no gaming, just like, hey man, let's fucking do this shit. So that was cool. So we have a guy in the club who's got a knockoff hookup, and he's like, hey man, he's like a model that's usually like $350. He's like, hey man, I can get one for like $85. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, fuck, dude. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that'd be worth the gamble. That's like, even if it's not good enough to put on the table, I can use it as terrain. You know what I mean? I can make an exploded tank or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I got it. It's not worth $85. I mean, it's not. I mean, I could fix it, but here's the deal, man. Like, there's a certain threshold with the hobbying I'm just not interested in doing. Like, I'm not interested in getting like putty and green stuffing and sanding and fucking taking pieces of plastic card. Like, I want to buy the model. I want to clean the model with the snippers and a razor blade, and I want to glue the model, and I want it to be done. I don't want to take things and have to fucking sand and file and pin and magnetize and do all this shit.
To fix anything.
Yeah.
You want to be able to put your thing together.
Yes. I want to be able to put it together. And there's kind of this culture with resin, and I got to tell you, Joe's kind of opened my eyes to it. I got to give Joe props because I look at these Japanese model kits that are fucking highly detailed. They're super inexpensive, and they fucking blow some of this other shit away. So, like, it's funny, man, because, like, one of our connections, this guy takes models, he fixes them, he does, do the recast, and then we buy them at a pretty good thing, but he, like, they're better than the original, right? And so I'm kind of like, well, you know what? That's just the market repairing shit. You know what I mean? But this other shit, like this super inferior shit, I'm like, fuck that, dude. I would pay twice as much money to get something that's right. So I think I'm tapping out of that for a while. It's just not working. But actually, fucking Alex is over there buying me some real legit shit, so I don't have to pay all the fucking transfer fees and all that other bullshit. So yeah, I call this one knockoffs.
Knockoffs?
Knockoffs.
Knockoffs. I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, and recently I've been like hitting the books on tape here a while, so I haven't been getting on the podcast. But dude, I just finished a fucking awesome podcast with Kevin Smith and Joe Rogan.
Oh, really?
Go check it out.
Okay.
I will tell you, the middle of it, they start talking about big cats and how like they eat people and shit and dogs and whatever is garbage. It's fucking garbage. But like the beginning of it is really good. Kevin Smith's kind of talking about his heart attack, and then at the end of it, they're actually talking about putting their dogs together, and they're both on there fucking crying. Remember when I talked about putting my dog down? Like, dude, I was like driving to work, like, I can't listen to this right now. I had to skip through the dog part, right?
Uh-huh.
But at the end, Kevin Smith starts talking about like his kind of revelations about death and everything.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of profound, man. But like at the same time, it's not. He's like, I'm still gonna go do what I'm gonna do. He's changed his diet. He's like a vegan now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's like, I'm a bullshit vegan. And like, as soon as my shit gets better, I probably won't be a vegan. But my daughter's been bugging me to be a vegan. I'm like, fuck, I had a heart attack, almost died. But it is interesting. Like, one thing he's like, I'm not scared to die anymore. Like, I'm not scared. Like, that's just the end of the race, man. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it was really good, man.
I love that dude, man.
Yeah, I do too, man. He's really cool. Funny as fuck too, man. Then Joe Rogan had Dave Rubin on. Big fan of Dave, but it was cool to have, I think last time Rubin was on there was like a year ago, and like he's blown up since then. But it's interesting to hear like his change in perception of things, because he kind of, he was with the Young Turks at one point, and they're super ultra left wing, and then he kind of got more centralized, and now he's kind of traveling with Jordan Peterson, who gets labeled kind of right wing, but he's not. He's kind of a lefty as well, but it's just he's calling shit out on people. That was really good. And then I'm listening to one with Candace Owens, and she was a person that Kanye West tweeted, like, I like the way Candace Owens thinks because she's a black conservative.
I'm familiar with Candace Owens.
She's interesting. Like, I'm not, she's a smart girl. I think that her heart's in the right place. She's young, but it's a pretty good episode. So I'm just kind of like trying to get through some of my podcast stuff. But the Kevin Smith one, man, it's worth listening to. It's like 1031, I think, which I can't believe Joe Rogan's had 1,000 podcasts. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, he put out a tweet or something like right after he.
Oh, had a heart attack.
Yeah. That was like
the widow maker. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Only 25% of the people who have that fucking live.
Yeah, he talks about that specifically.
Yeah.
He's just like, and he says like when you start reading the whatever it was, I don't know if it was a Facebook post or whatever it was, you think he's gonna go a certain way with it.
It's an Instagram post. Yeah, I remember we talked about it. When it came out.
And then it like wasn't. It was like,
yeah,
like whatever, had a full life.
Yeah, he's 47 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 47 years old. Yeah, 10 years older than you. And it's interesting, man. But he thought that like he just smoked a bunch of weed. He couldn't breathe. That's what happened. Like I didn't have any pain. I didn't have any arm thing. I just couldn't get a full breath. And he's fucking lucky as fuck, bro. He was like, they literally took him to. Like, they didn't take him to the hospital he should have went to. They took him to like one of the best heart hospitals in the fucking country. It's like this one in LA and like one in New York.
Huh.
He had one of the best heart surgeons or whatever the fuck, And like he was awake the whole time. They cut his leg, put the thing up his femoral artery, and put that little balloon or mesh balloon in there to open up his. He said as soon as they did it, like all the blood like rushed, go, and they could breathe again.
Yeah,
but
scary, man.
So he's lost another 40 pounds. So remember, he was too fat, and they made him buy an extra plane ticket. He got all embarrassed. So he lost 80 pounds from that, and then he lost 40 pounds. So he's on this health kick. But like the one thing he said about is like he's like this I thought that I was doing right getting healthy here recently, but like this is all damage that happened when I was a kid. I was eating shit when I was a kid. Like that shit adds up. And he said some other thing about cholesterol, because I've always had high cholesterol, but my blood pressure is always really good. My heart rate's always really good. Like my blood pressure is like 96 over 60 or 40 or some shit. It's like low, but my resting heart rate is like 52, 56. So I've never really cared about my cholesterol that much, because people are like, oh, your cholesterol, if you're everything else is good, you don't really worry about it that much. Because my cholesterol is like 285 or something, or 255, and it should be like 230 or 220. But now I'm like, oh. Looking at that shit, man.
Yeah, I mean that's all that shit is nothing to play around with.
Yeah,
I don't know how, but like I'm good to go
on your cholesterol.
Everything
good.
Like
yeah,
I get my physical every year and blood work drawn and all that shit, and like whenever it always comes back, like. There was only one time like some shit was like sketchy for like 2 years, but it was because of a medication I had to take for something else. It was completely unrelated.
Yeah.
But it freaked me out. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh."
that that cholesterol thing. Like my eyes, my ears, my triglycerides are low. It's just that like, is it the LDL is high?
Yeah. I'm no expert.
Yeah,
but like,
it's always been high. Even though I don't know, dude. I was like 23 years old and like fucking awesome shape, and like my cholesterol was like nearing 300. Like, whoa, what the hell? I'm like, I don't even eat like bad shit,
Yeah, but I like some of that shit, like something like red meats and shit like that. Like that shit can get you.
Yeah. Well, at that time I was eating like fucking Subway sandwiches. That's all I was eating.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like the veggie Subway sandwich for like 2 years. I lived off that shit. So I don't know. Anyway, what about your nerd week?
It was fairly eventful, I guess. As you can see, I did some work down here.
Dude, every time I come down here, I'm like, what's new?
Yeah.
It's like the Where's Waldo of the fucking like nerd realm. Like, what has changed?
Yeah, so I had Laura come down here because it started looking junky. Like, like shit all over the shelves looks great as long as it looks like it's supposed to be there. and it started looking like the shit wasn't supposed to be there. Like it was like becoming storage.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I got to be honest with you, man. I think that you need to either have books on the shelf or dolls. I don't think you should do both.
Oh, I'm a fan of both.
I can see that.
Yeah, no, I like the breakup. I like that it's like it's a little bit of excitement for your eye.
All right, so like this is fine. When you have like half the shelf of books is fine, but like right there where you have like 4/5 of the shelf and like you can't, those characters aren't spread out enough. I think that's an issue.
Yeah, that
over there might be fine. That might be fine too.
Yeah, I think,
and
like,
Joker might be fine.
The problem with this one is like
they're
together.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You can't have them. It's a delicate little tightrope to walk. But
I agree.
But yeah, I had Laura come down here and kind of eyeball some shit because she has a way of making shit look nice. So she was taking shit off the shelves and putting it back on, and then every now and then we'd bump heads over something. It was, it was funny though. For one, like, dude, just little things, man. Like, so she had. I still gotta get you to pin that on.
Yeah. Just bring it over, man.
I know. I gotta remember. She had. No, the Joker was up there with the
Harley.
No, it was with the Catwoman, the Dark Knight Catwoman.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't like it. It was too crowded.
Yeah.
So I put the Catwoman down here with this Batman because it was this little Batman.
Yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah.
And then like it was such a little move. There's 1,000 things going on. Shit's on the table. Shit's on the floor. Books are coming off. Books are being lined up by size. Shit's going down.
Yeah.
And she walks around the table one time and she goes, and takes it off.
Yeah.
She immediately zeroed in on it. And I don't even know where she put it now.
Right there, right?
No, over here.
Okay. Yeah, there she is.
So that was cool. What else did we do?
I don't know if I like the placement of Crazy Toys, bro.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Carnage might have to move.
You're lucky there's room for Crazy Toys.
Dude, if Carnage and fucking Brer Bear.
Dude, Brer Bear.
Fucking Crazy Toys. You know what I need to do? I need to get you a little shelf that you can put in the wall right under Hugh Jackman's poster and just have him floating up there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
So
what getting you for Christmas.
So I did have a video get blocked worldwide.
Really?
Yeah, the first attempt at uploading my Luke Skywalker video got blocked worldwide instantly.
Why?
It was a Disney claim. And luckily now, I feel like I've had videos blocked before. I've had some blocked because they thought that my music was stealing from someone else.
Okay.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, you can write them and they'll unblock it.
Yeah. I've gone through that process. I think one still hasn't been unblocked.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But
fucking YouTube.
Yeah, they're fucking like their interaction with creators is trash.
Yeah, they are horrible.
So anyway, what's interesting is that they did tell me this time the exact segments that got the video blocked. So like, you click on it and it's like from 2 minutes to 2 minutes and 13 seconds and from 7 minutes to 7 minutes and 52 seconds.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, one was when Han is killed by Kylo.
Okay.
I had the video footage of that. And I'm talking over it and everything. I had the video footage from...
Did you like have to shrink it, go back and edit and shrink it?
I just took it out and replaced it with pictures, like a slideshow of them meeting on the bridge, killing.
Gotcha.
And then the other one was Luke and Yoda talking at the burning tree.
Okay.
And those are the two things that flagged. Nothing else. None of the stuff with Luke throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like just those. It's just so bizarre. I don't understand how that shit works.
Yeah. How did that video do?
It did well for a Star Wars video for me. I mean, it did like 3,000 views.
Dude, it's a good video.
Thank you, man. Like, I really gave it. I can honestly say I gave that thing everything I had, and I left it kick around. I still ended up. I think next time I do something like that, it's hard because you get excited that it's done. You want to put it out. You want people to see it.
Yep.
But next time I do something like that, I'm gonna keep it for a week.
Oh, and sit on it.
And sit on it because. Like 3 days, so to speak. Like 3 days later, I was like, "Fuck!" And I should have talked about this, and I should have talked about this. Like,
well, maybe we can get in our discussion. I know, we're trying to do a discussion. Maybe we can talk about it a little bit because I do agree with you on a great many things in that video, and I think, I think that I'm right. I'm paddling your canoe in regards to your interpretation of it. I think that's good, and I can forgive big picture thing, I can forgive a lot of things I didn't like about Luke when it's articulated in that way. But there is still a larger thing that I'm still kind of upset about with Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
And then, with that, it leads to places that aren't necessarily necessary. Ooh.
But then also, like, a lot of, like, because my whole goal with that movie, with that video, was to share how much that means to me. Like,
Yeah.
that whole segment.
Yeah. It's your opinion.
Exactly.
It's your interpretation of the story.
And, I'm very thankful. I was flooded with comments and DMs and PMs and all this shit. Like, dude, I'm watching that shit tonight. Like, with a new lens, like, I'm gonna give it another go. Like, what you're saying, Chris watched it and he was like, the first half of the movie still is what it is, and he was like, but I now thoroughly enjoy the second half of the movie. Like, I've had a ton of positive response about it. Some of the things that I say in it have like turned into memes that have kind of gone viral.
Okay.
Like, one of the memes that I brought up has like been re-put together and like going back out now. Like, it has had an impact. I can tell.
Yeah. You've cast rivers in the pond?
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It'd be nice
rivers, rocks in the
It'd
pond.
be nice if they gave me a little link down at the bottom.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Fucking haters, bro.
There.
Just remember that Gary Coleman different strokes joke was mine.
Yes, it was.
The day after he died.
It was. The other thing was, like, unfortunately, and I'm trying not to get discouraged or write it off.
Yeah.
But, like, some of the sites that spoke to me before about sharing a video, like, now, like, won't write me back.
Which ones?
I'm not gonna put that.
All right. What do you mean though?
Like, remember yeah. Like, now, like we were communicating and now we're not. I don't know why. Like, and maybe they were busy. Maybe
they're busy.
It could be any, but I mean,
maybe they're busy.
Could be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's like, what's going on?
Why don't you tweet it directly to them?
Is it the dog or you?
It's not me, bro.
Oh, okay. Because it has a little human scent to it. That's bad. Are you sure?
Dude, I didn't fart. I don't even
That was
smell
bad.
it.
Okay.
I don't even smell it. I don't want to smell it. I want to stick my nose.
But like, I'm anxious to do it again. Like, and maybe like, not necessarily stick to Star Wars. Like, I want to do one on the Martha moment.
Okay.
Like, there's a bunch of things that I want to kind of.
I would love for you to defend that.
Yeah, I'm like, because like even.
Oh yeah, damn, that is stinky.
Yeah, that first cut of that film.
Did he just die?
Yeah.
Did he just die?
The first cut of that film, which I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah.
I still was like, I don't know, of all the problems that I feel like this movie has, I don't understand why they're zeroing in on this one moment that's like really powerful.
Yeah.
So,
I think Smeagol does this to you on purpose. I think he hates you.
I think he does too, man. He fucking, dude, he irritated me last, like, he can't, like, I don't even want to talk about it. It's 'cause I'm mad. But like, I'm really happy with the video. And then I did the Primes video, Primes Puns and Pinions the next day. That did
I didn't see that one. Was it the two different MP?
Yeah, just talking about the different things with them or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
one looks like a diaper or something like that.
Oh, well, one of them has like the diaper that doesn't flip up, and it doesn't matter. But it was funny. And then, so yeah, let me see what else went on in my work week, my nerd week. I had a great time on Beer and Vultures. Great, probably the best podcast discussion I've had in a long time.
Cool.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Now
I'm not going to put it anywhere else. Now people have to go to Beer and Vultures.
We sat outside with Jaina the other night, like before she left for the beach.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and like we talked for a long time. And she's like, eventually she's like, there's things I want to talk about. Sometimes I feel like I can't talk about them, whatever. And I was like, well, let's talk about them.
Yeah.
So she talked to me about like this boy that she's kind of into, which was interesting, And I was like, what's his name? And she told me her first name, and I was like, well, what's his last name? And she's like, you're gonna hate it. And I was like, tell me. She's like, Doy. I was like, Doy? Doy boy? Doy boy's name is trash. Like, like just.
How do you spell that?
I think DOI.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, it was just fun. Like it was interesting. It was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
To hear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and then room tightening and the furniture and all that, and then I finished Superior Spider-Man.
Okay.
Final
verdict.
So there is one scene that's really fucking cool. Now, the confines of the story, dumb all the way through. Stupid. But he finally gets back into Dr. Octopus. Like, he kicks Dr. Octopus out of his head.
Yeah.
He takes over. Like, the Ghost Spider-Man takes over. It's fucking ridiculous.
Okay.
But the Goblin is one of the few characters that knows that it's Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man's body.
Okay.
And so the Goblin is saying, and here he is at last, the hero of our little drama, just in time for the thrilling climax. But wait, a twist. The hero isn't one at all. In fact, he never was. Really, Otto, you're just embarrassing yourself with this charade. Granted, you were never on my level, but being a bad guy suited you. Saving that little lady is your last remaining achievement as Spider-Man. When it all goes boom, you'll have nothing left. Ha
Yeah.
ha 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 ha. And then Spider-Man says, well, accept the dignity of knowing I never carried a man purse. And then
The look on his
Green
face.
Goblin's face.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's you. And then the one and only. And that was a very cool moment, you know. But it's just like
So how did Green Goblin figure it out? Just from his
from that joke.
Oh no.
Oh,
that
from
he was
the other
Otto.
shit. He found some diary or work of this cop that was like on the case and whatever.
Gotcha.
But anyway,
so
it's
I just
over.
want to know one thing: was Doc Ock boning Mary Jane in Peter's body?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
They
that
actually,
would have killed it
They
for
got
me, man.
close. They
Okay.
got close, but like their relationship is kind of rocky.
Yeah. Now, does she know now that he was? I guess you don't know because you don't know what happens after the fact.
She knows. She
Oh,
knows. Yeah.
okay,
he's-
okay.
And she's like, Peter, I believe you,
Yeah.
but everything with you is like this.
Yeah.
Symbiote's coming down. This and that. Like fucking
I'm
people
done.
taking over your brain.
They weren't married in this timeline,
I
right?
have no idea. I don't think. I don't get that.
I think
impression.
I think they reset the clock and they weren't married.
And she's like, I'm done. I need to. She's like, the last couple months I've been living a normal life.
Yeah,
And I've
it's
been
been
having normal
fine.
problems.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
You know.
Symbiote's coming down.
And then Father's Day. So I wanted to talk about the events of
Oh,
Father's
yeah.
Day. So we went out to my favorite pizza spot in Maryland
Okay.
on Friday night. And it was the first time my wife had ever had it. So like I'm always like fucking, like, ugh, is this like, I put my heart and soul on the line. Like, look, this
Yeah.
is the best.
Yeah.
And then you sit down, it's like, oh, trash.
It's trash
You know what I mean? So
She
she was
enjoyed it.
about 2 slices in, and she
Yeah.
was like, this is the best pizza I've maybe ever had
where's
in
it
my
at?
life. King's Contrivance, the Village
Okay.
Center over there, like where the value food used to be. Like it's like across, I think it's a Harris Teeter now. But it's like across from the Harris Teeter.
Where at?
King's Contrivance, like
Oh.
Hammond area.
Oh, okay. Tell you what.
Hmm.
I want to go out and have a piece of that. You buy by piece?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Give it a
without
whirl.
doubt.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
All right.
So we had that. That was cool. Dropped the kids off at her mother's, and then they went to the beach, which is fine. And then
not fine.
It's not fine, but it's fine. And
I think we
then-
talked about this already.
Yeah.
Maybe on Patreon.
No. We talked about like the beef because it was a beef. Like
Yeah, but it wasn't a Patreon episode.
I don't think so.
Well, just in case it was, check out Patreon. Yeah, it's giving you a
Well,
lot
I
of
think my
content.
wife was here talking about it. We talked about it with Laura and Pam that day. That
we talked about it by ourselves, though. I'm
right.
Sure.
That you and me is what's
Yeah.
on this show.
Okay.
With Laura on the show was on Patreon.
Okay. Yeah. Amazing show. We got tons of compliments.
One of the best.
One of the best shows we've ever done.
What else? So then that was Friday night, and then we came back, and I think we might have worked on a diorama a little bit. Saturday morning, we worked on this Honda and Carbonite diorama.
It's great.
Yeah, I got 2 pieces that I've ordered. I'm waiting for them to come in, and then I got to get them painted, and then it's done. But
How much painting do they require?
a fair amount.
Like super
Yeah,
detailed
one's like
animal
a
painting?
tauntaun head, and
All
the other
right.
one's like a gerba head,
Mm.
which is like a
A
space
der?
horse.
A der?
Yeah.
Space Horse? Okay.
So I got to paint them up, and then it's done, and it looks great. I think it came out perfect. Laura did all the little table and all the little
Yeah, it looks
shit.
good,
Yeah,
man.
it looks good.
What does she do? Like, how did she make that? Clay?
Yeah, clay.
Do you guys bake it or is it just
No, it's
Painted?
air dry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we worked on that from the time that we woke up until we went over to your house for
Yeah.
the cookout. Had a great time.
Yeah,
the
awesome
cookout.
time. Awesome time.
Um.
So your baby almost fell off the deck. I'm gonna tell that story.
Okay. Good.
All right. So a while back, we had somebody replace some stuff on our deck, and they fucked up, and like the spaces between the upright pieces to the railing are too far apart, and there's a code there. They got to be. I think it's like, I don't think they can be more than like 7 or 9 inches apart. All right.
Breaking news may have just hit.
What?
Somebody said tabling the spin-off films like Obi-Wan and Boba is very disappointing.
Really?
Maryland Phil.
Huh.
So I'm saying, did that happen? Because he's probably tweeting it out. You know?
Yeah.
So
Anyway, so your kids were gone, except for Leia, the 2-year-old. And so I come upstairs, like I was like, everybody's like out on the deck, like, no, don't take the baby on the deck. The deck is all rickety. Like I was out there earlier screwing boards that were popping out back into the deck, and there's like, 12-inch gap between some of the fucking uprights. So I go out there to start the grill, and Laura's like, "Hey, Adam, it's fine. It's fine. She's right here within my reach. Right here. She's going to be fine." And it wasn't 2 minutes later. She was all the way across the deck, almost 20 feet away from her mom, like hanging through the fucking rails. I'm like, no. And like, I did one of those things, and she jumped back real quick and got a little sad panda face.
yeah, she's
So then I went and got rope, and like I roped off, like it looks like a fucking
nautical.
vessel. I roped up all the rails, like 2 lines of roping, and then I got the baby gate to block it. But they were giving me a hard time about it, before, and like she literally almost fell off the deck, and the deck is like
I came outside
40 feet off the
I
ground.
came outside, and Pam was like, "Ahoy, Bobby!" Which was funny. So I was downstairs hanging out in the basement.
Yeah. When I was up there fucking roping the deck off.
Yeah, and grilling, and we had some good conversations and stuff. And then I was like, Adam's out there cooking. Like, let's go out there and be social with him, so he's not out there by himself.
I appreciated it.
And Baltimore Brandon was like, yeah, all right, let's a couple guys that were like, ugh.
Outside.
Yeah, like, and I don't look. The beer, I get along fine with all the beer and Vultures guys.
Yeah.
I don't think I've met one that I haven't liked.
Yeah.
You know,
and who was all there? Just Roy?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Current.
Continue.
But like the look on some of their faces were like, we're here for this part of the house. Like they didn't say anything, but you could.
I wonder if they didn't feel welcome upstairs.
So I was like, come on, let's go up there. We're gonna go up there. He's up there. Like he invited us here to this cookout, and we're downstairs enjoying the air conditioning while he's fucking like, come on. So we went out there and then hung out, and I had a great time.
No, it was. I think everybody had a great time.
Laura wanted to. It's funny because when we were driving to your house.
Yeah.
She was like, I wish when we went over to Adam and Pam's that we got to hang out more on the deck because I like their deck and I like the trees and.
I get a lot of compliments about my deck.
Yeah, and she was like, but they just they never go out there, and I was like, yeah, and then like when I came upstairs and I saw she's like, what are the chances? And I was like, I know. But I do have a question. I do have a question for you about the event.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if you want me to ask it on air or not.
Well, let's pause it real quick. Oh, that question is quite fine.
Okay, good.
Continue.
Good. So
repeat the question, sir.
I will. I got to set it up though for the listeners.
Okay.
And why I ask it. It was something that dawned on me probably the next day because I was pretty fucked up that night.
Oh yeah.
You were too, actually.
Oh yeah. I didn't make a purchase. I should have brought that today.
I know you should.
Dude, I don't know if we should do that.
I knew you were gonna bitch out of this,
dude.
I told you. I was like, you were gonna pussy out of this.
I didn't say I'm gonna push you out of it.
Right.
I'm saying I don't know if we should do it.
No, we should do it. So anyway, I was talking.
Ended up in the hospital.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, you invited a lot of people to this event, and I think, much like you said last week, perfect number turnout wise.
Yeah.
We were already technically short, I think, 2 chairs.
Yes.
Luckily, I'm not a chair person in social gatherings. So I think it was perfect turnout.
It was.
But in that turnout, there was Baltimore Brandon and his girl, and Maryland Phil, who showed up eventually. Fucking with you, Phil.
Chris finally showed up.
Did he really?
At midnight.
Get the fuck out of here.
At midnight.
That is trash.
And then he forgot the shit he was supposed to bring.
That is trash. And then Black Phillip was there as well.
Yep.
But I guess my question is, I've come to your house for game days, plenty of times.
Yeah.
Turnout, beer and Vultures, folks wise, significantly larger than the turnout for this event.
Yeah.
Which made me want to ask you because I know how it feels to put in work into a community, and everybody's there when the getting's good.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to really building the relationship side, like the camaraderie side, it's a little bit more difficult. I was going to ask, do you feel like you have a large portion in your community that are, where mine it's toys first, people second.
Yeah.
Those people I want the fuck out of here. Do you feel like it's gaming first, people second?
So, I think with Father's Day specifically, so this is probably the second or third Father's Day thing that we've done. and it's probably the least amount of people that came. Originally, it's usually on Sundays, so we usually do it at the same time as game day and just don't do game day. This time we did it on Saturday and we did game day. The funny bit was like everybody was so tired. I don't think anybody left until like 9, 10 o'clock, right? It's like 9 o'clock before we
yeah,
knew
it was late. We were tired. I mean, people were yawning on the
Yeah, I know. I was
old
like,
and soft and trash.
you need to get a shirt that says that. And speaking of shirts, Pam got the price for the shirts,
Okay.
and I think we're gonna be able to do it.
Nice.
So we'll probably do like Indiegogo or something and get the pre-sales or whatever. Figure out something.
Okay.
Because it's a big purchase out of pocket. So
Okay.
cover. We can talk about that another time.
Yeah.
So this one, I was shocked that not as many people came, but everybody kind of hit me up probably like, hey man, listen, so and so's got a plan, like basically like moms making plans for the dads type of thing. So I was like, that's fine, no big deal, because like I think Father's Day was actually Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I did it Saturday, anticipating that, but a lot of people went out for the out for the weekend. It turned out being fine, but I say that to say this, to answer your question. I don't think necessarily it's the camaraderie thing, because we do enough events that's not game related. But I will say it does seem like there's ebbs and flows with it. Like Rustmas, we had like fucking 50 people there, and it was packed. And then like the Memorial Day cookout we did last year, I mean, it was fucking stupid amount of people. And this event, I think I invited more people than ever, because I got a couple people that were like, "Oh, I didn't even know about you doing that before," and I didn't want to get like, people got hurt feelings they weren't invited. So it's like, well, motherfucker, I invited you, you didn't fucking come. So next time I might pull the Bobby and not get the invite.
You gotta make it worth something.
But it was good. I had a good time of it.
No,
It
I had a
actually
great
turned
time.
out. It actually, no bullshit, makes me want to sprucing up the deck a little bit.
Yeah.
know?
I mean, it's a cool spot.
Yeah.
You know?
So, do you think that people would use both levels?
I don't think so.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I think they would only use both levels if the amount of people was like
A stupid amount.
Skullfest.
Because like the
amount where people
bottom,
find pockets.
the bottom part of the deck is bigger, right? And it's better shade, and you have like a better view of like the side woods and the backwoods. So I'm actually thinking about maybe putting a table up there on the top part and put all the chairs and the fire pit on the bottom part. Because then you just go into the basement and go right to the bathroom.
I
And the
think
fridge is right there.
You have to kind of set up where the social place is going to be.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And then once you've established that, I don't think you'll have people leaving one spot or the other.
Yeah, I hear you.
You could
I hear
be
you. I
one
think
spot
or several. So,
and then
depending
Sunday,
on the time.
Sunday we went to IKEA.
Mm-hmm.
For those listening, I did find an IKEA piece of furniture that will hold 2 DTOFs.
What's it called?
The Mosjo, Mosjo, I believe.
What was that?
Something fell. Little shelf dives out there somewhere.
Oh, Jesus.
Ghoulish shit.
I know, man.
But
Spirits.
floating spirits. But I will say that
That's
like,
from Robin Hood, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. I will say that it works like a champ. It works like a fucking champ. So now I only need to find something that will hold 1 DTOF, which I have a feeling I'll probably have to build myself because the locations are so exact.
Yeah, you know what, dude? DTOFs need to be raised.
Yeah,
it's a big
do.
deal.
They do.
It's a big deal. Like I did that in my game room. Fucking totally changed.
Yeah.
At this point, no bullshit. Something else on?
No, I think he's getting ready to throw up.
At this point, like my big cases, I love them because but like, if I knew then what I know now, I might have just bought DTOFs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So like, anyway, I'm very happy with the setup. So we go outside after we set this up a little bit, and Laura's like, I'm not going to be able to stand having the DTOFs up against that column and seeing through the DTOFs into the shelves, into the column, into the couch, into such and such. And I was like, well, what do you want to do? We already bought the 2 fucking DTOFs. They're sitting there.
Are you getting rid of them?
And she was like, I want to move that bookcase off of that wall. I want to box in the column with 2 more little billies. And I'm gonna put the DTOFs over there on that wall.
Nice.
And I was like, well, you don't twist my arm and break it.
Dude, you are such a fucking con man.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You could probably get a 3rd DTOF right there.
Where?
Like, just have it coming off the wall. When the world is on your shoulders.
But anyway,
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I
I
don't
mean, why
know. I don't
not?
know
You
if
just
the
need a
feng
little,
shui-
like a little atrium, little atriums to get through the area.
But anyway, so that is good news. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna order it or
Now you just gotta.
because shipping has come down on IKEA.
Oh,
Like,
really?
shipping used to be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it used to be ridiculous.
I looked up
Fucking
getting-
thanks, Amazon.
getting two. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Getting 2 Billies and a Most Joe, and it was like $30 shipping.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
But, oh man, I had something snarky to say. That was kind of funny. But now I can't remember what it was. Let's continue.
So anyway, then I was able to kind of rearrange some things and like.
It looks good, man.
Yeah, I feel a little bit better. I got my DC, I got my Marvel, I got one thing of Star Wars that kind of goes with the Star Wars, and then my little indie section. Like I'm
I think you might have to tighten up your table game over there now. I think
Yeah.
I think this looks so polished.
Yeah,
And that looks
yeah,
so.
You sound like my wife.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick.
No, she hates it. She
Yeah.
hates it. She wants to fucking put a curtain here and be done with it.
Ooh,
So she
not a
wants-
bad idea.
Like,
Like, you're not gonna like this.
but-
Like, no bullshit. Why don't you just put a door from that room and wall that motherfucker off?
yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying.
And then you could even put like foam in that room, and like a recording booth.
Yeah.
Oof.
Like I just don't know how much longer that's gonna go. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know what the future is for that space. So I'm trying. to
Oh,
keep
so
it
you might
kinda
have
open.
DTOF to the wall, to the windows,
wall.
to the wall.
Like I might because, like I'm.
have a little ass glass hall.
Like I'll tell you why because my.
All right, sorry about that.
So I'll tell you why is because I'm enjoying the videos like the Luke Skywalker video and the Sit Down
Yeah.
Saturday videos
Yeah.
more than I'm enjoying the reviews. And I even though I'm enjoying the reviews more now that I kind of changed the style on them, I'm still enjoying the other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
More, and they're performing better than most of my reviews.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, why don't I just do that? And if I do that, get rid of that. But then, like every now and then, I do want to review something. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But for right now, I'm leaving it. But I don't want to commit too hardcore to anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the future holds for that stuff.
You know what though? No bullshit. I got an idea for you. Put shelves back there. You have to measure this out
Right.
and have a little reading chair, a little reading nook,
Mhm.
a little nook,
I do like a reading nook.
and then you can just fucking detoss these walls.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It would depend on space and stuff.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. You have to measure it out.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. And I think that's it for me,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Get into
Living
news.
living that detox life,
Yeah.
dude. That needs to be your next fucking song.
Detox life.
Detox life.
I don't know if I'm gonna do a
Can
song
you
this year.
can you make rap about detox and like how they are a pain putting together and how they can be like you get that wobble where it's like tat 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 and you got to readjust the
I don't
shelves.
think that's what I want to do.
I'm just saying, just for funsies.
I don't know if I'm gonna do a song this year.
Really?
I don't know. I'll see. We'll see.
You know what? If you don't think you're gonna do one, you shouldn't do one.
Well,
Put it out there.
no, it'll come down to if I want to do one. I'm not gonna do one because I feel like I have to do one.
Okay. Word. That's what I said.
Well, no, because I'm not sure now, but in a month I could be sure that I want it. So we do have some news, and we just had breaking news, which is timely. What a weird approach. So Amazon has greenlit an Invincible show that's animated.
Okay.
As far as I know, and I'm not an Invincible expert.
I do want to get those graphic novels and read
Me
them.
too. Just let us have them digitally, but it took up so much space on his drive. He could only give it to us for so many months, and then you know what I mean, so to
Yeah.
speak.
I'm just trash at reading shit, man.
I'm
I
just
never
not
have
good
any
at-
time.
I'm just not good at reading things digitally. I need to hold the shit in my hand,
Yeah,
so to speak.
yeah.
So they say it's going to be an adult animated series. It just feels like a very bizarre choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't read the book, but I know it has some adult content.
Oh, absolutely.
So like, I just when I heard it, like I was like, they're doing a show. Okay, that's fine. I would have preferred a movie, but a show is fine. They're doing it on Amazon. Really? It's gonna be animated? Are you sure? Am I reading this right? Like it just seems like a.
Amazon has done a couple other shows. Like isn't that Outcast show on Amazon? Or is that Showtime? That's Showtime. There is something on Amazon that I've wanted to watch. It might be the Man in the High Castle or some shit. It's like that alternate, like the Nazis won, alternate future. But then
yeah.
then there's video of like the Americans winning.
I did hear something about that.
Yeah, I heard really good things about it too.
Yeah, I don't know, but it just seems like it just seems strange to me. I don't know. The next note is, speaking of things coming back, so to speak, fun to the max. The Max was teased by IDW of coming back with Sam Keith at the helm.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they gonna reboot it?
Well, let me read what it says.
Whatever. Wasn't the Max like a rabbit or something crazy?
Yeah, I think he was a rabbit.
Yeah.
Because that's why he has the big feet and teeth.
Yeah. And he's got
IDW
ears.
Publishing has released a tweet that seems to tease a new Max material. And it said, it just has a picture of the Max with a whole bunch of ises underneath. And it says, "The Max returns, hashtag the Max returns, Sam Keith." But like, sign me up. I'm all for that. I did have a question because I haven't bought a Lucy in so long.
Yeah.
Do they still run ads inside of comics?
Oh.
I
I don't
thinking
know.
I was just thinking about that today.
They've got to, right?
I would think.
They've got to have like video games.
I don't
and-
know.
I think it's like video games and movies. I'm pretty sure they do. Because my daughters have got a couple. I mean, I don't really look at them that much. But yeah, you're probably right.
Our next note is Nun Yuh Bizness, which is a movie coming out about the nun from The Conjuring.
Oh, yeah. I say Nun Yuh Bizness to my kids all the time.
Do they love it?
They're
My
like,
kids love it.
I'm like, hey, what did you say? Nun Yuh? What? Nun Yuh Bizness?
Yeah. See, my kids still like, Jane is always telling riddles and jokes and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
and,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like, how many sides does a circle have? 2, inside and outside, and all this shit. Like, you
Yeah,
know, love it.
yeah.
Well, Selena like tries to play along, so like she watches. I think it was in Moana where it was like, what did one volcano say to the other volcano?
What?
I lava you.
Mm.
So like she'll come around and be like, "Daddy," I'm like, "Yeah." What did one cup say to the other cup? I'm like, "What? I cup you." I'm like, "Oh." And she'll be like, "And what did one water bottle say to the other water bottle?" And I'm like, "I water bottle you." And she like, her eyes go super wide, like, like, you know that one, like, you know, like, it's so funny, man. But anyway, The Conjuring is probably one of my favorite modern horror movies, and The Nun is fucking freaky as shit.
Now, wait a minute. I don't think she was in the Conjuring. Is that the Conjuring 2 or the Conjuring
I think it's The
fucking
Conjuring.
3?
I think it's The Conjuring that she's in.
Wasn't the Conjuring, the doll was in it at the beginning? And it was the
Annabelle.
mom?
Yeah, and all that same universe.
Yeah, but like the first one was like the mom or whatever, like under the house and some shit. I gotta go back and watch
Maybe it's
it now.
Conjuring 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think the nun was in.
It's in one of the Conjuring.
Yeah. I think I've only seen the first one.
She's
So-
like on the wall or whatever. I don't know.
To the window.
But anyway, I'm fucking excited. Like,
Yeah.
the character's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Looks like it's a prequel, like olden times.
Oh yeah. And all that stuff is like supposed to be based on like actual events.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right.
They're all like it's that fan. Though the dude who was the owl man in fucking Watchmen, I forget his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And like he's in a lot of stuff, and I like him.
Yeah.
But like he's got this certain
Plays
look.
like this safe.
He's got this certain look. He's gonna be an Aquaman,
Oh really?
but I don't know what is up with his face. Right?
Can he
He's
do
not a
anything to fix it?
he's not a bad looking guy, but there's just something that looks off on his face, as if he's an alien, not quite sure how to wear human flesh. You know what I mean? Let's pull him up real quick, just for funsies. Hopefully this won't crash
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
computer.
say, Drew,
All right,
I'm sure
here. Let's just IMDb him on my cell phone. But yeah, dude, I don't know what it is about that guy. He's a good actor. Oh shit, let me go ahead and close you out. We have this shitty ass Mac that needs to die.
Don't talk
right.
about it right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Watchmen.
But yeah, I
Because he was also in Phantom of the Opera.
hmm
Another one that was crazy, man. How many movies named Watchmen are there? Jesus. Cast and crew.
But I'm up for that. Like, I dig
Continue your story.
I dig that universe. Like,
Yeah.
it's probably my favorite shared universe that's not like a huge franchise.
Patrick Wilson. All right. Let's just look at pictures of his face with me, right?
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? There's just something weird about him. You see it though? Like look at his hairline. That might be fake.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's something about that guy. Am I right?
It got a little data swag.
I don't know what it is, man.
Like an android.
Maybe it's his eyebrows. Like he's always looking like he's like he's constipated. I don't know. A little sex scene action.
Yeah. Anyway,
continue.
So the next note is two timing, which is the Resident Evil 2 trailer. There's like a remake for like modern systems.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that conceptually? Like bringing back games that are like classics.
I like it.
Me too.
Here's my only caveat, right? If the game had a sequel that they improved for example, Batman Arkham. Like by the time Arkham Knight comes out, there's a huge change in the fighting system. It's improved dramatically. Update that shit.
Well, I think it is. I mean,
I'm saying that's my thing. Like, no, I'm not talking about just update the visuals. Like, update the combat system.
Well, I think the gameplay itself is all supposed to be smoother, better.
Tight.
It's basically as if like imagine the game never came out and it's coming out now.
I would love for them to redo Metal Gear Solid, like the original Metal Gear.
Dude, I would love for them to redo like tons of Star Wars games, like Knights of the Republic. And, like,
oh damn.
You know what I mean?
Dude, give me Super Star Wars. Impressive. Most impressive.
Give me all that shit.
Yeah. Just give me your face a little closer to that mic.
I just think it's an interesting approach.
Yeah, man.
I would have never guessed that.
Well, they've been rebooting movies. Yeah. Might as well reboot old ass games.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not even a reboot. It's like a redo.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
and it's like you already know it's good.
Yeah,
you know. What I mean?
Yeah. I do wonder though, because like there's one game, Vagrant Story on PS1. Amazing game. The story was amazing. It didn't have vocals. Like when people talk, it was like a bubble, like a comic book bubble. But the sound effects, like people walking around and like the chains rattling and stuff like that, was awesome. Like it was really the sound was really good. And then once you beat the game, you started back over with all of your. It's like an RPG. You started back with all your shit, which is really cool. I played it 2 or 3 times around, but the graphics are fucking horrible. But it was like this really cool 3D game. It's like a tile type of 3D system, and then you went into another section that would expand. And they never made another one. They never, made the game again. And I was really pissed at myself because I stopped I was playing the game. And I stopped like opening the new spells. And so when you start all over again, you don't have any of that shit.
Right.
Yeah. But you if you open them and know them, you had them.
Right.
But if you didn't like read the scrolls, but that game was fucking awesome. So whoever is out there, I think SquareSoft made it. Give me some fucking Vagrant Story, bro. Make that shit happen. That game is fucking badass, Peter.
Speaking of games, Vultures and Rhinos and Scorpions.
Oh my.
Did you see this? It's like a 7-minute gameplay.
Oh, the new Spider-Man?
The new Spider-Man.
I didn't see the Vultures, Scorpions, whatever.
Yeah, it's all in there.
Is it awesome?
It's fucking awesome.
Should we stop and watch it?
Nah, we're kind of pressed for time.
Okay. I'll just go fuck myself. No big deal.
Like, just it's not even like they're all updates to the character design. So
but
which is fine. I'm on board with that. But the fucking fighting system looks so badass for Spider-Man. Like it really looks like a dream come true level of like. When he takes the riot shield away from the prisoner and like swings it around, the web hitting everybody and then slamming it back down on another guy. Like
it looks a little bit Batman and Game of Thrones
definitely
esque. Am I right with
good.
that? Yeah, I'm down. Like, dude, like I'm gonna have to come over here and play it. I can't buy it.
Right.
So I just think that I'll just fucking be a douchebag.
Yeah. The glass flat screen ceiling. So. They're saying that there's going to be no more Marvel new properties on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah. They're continuing on. Jessica Jones season 3 is greenlit. Another, of course, season 3. Luke Cage drops this week.
Yep. 22nd.
Another Iron Fist, I think, is coming.
Yep.
So they're continuing on with what they have, but they're not introducing anything. Another Punisher is greenlit as well.
Yes, season
but they're
2.
They're not going to be doing anything else.
And no, there's not going to be a Defenders season 2. Now, will they do a Daredevil season 4?
We don't know.
Okay.
All they said is that the guy who is at the head of all that, the Marvel television stuff, he has decided to leave.
Okay. And Kevin Feige?
Douglas fir.
Figgery.
What did you said something last week that was pretty funny.
Fig Newton.
But yeah,
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
so is this other guy? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'm trying to bring up the article. But I guess he's been looking to walk away.
Dude, what if Kevin Feige, is it Feige?
I think it's Feige.
Figgy. What if he knows about us and our joke that we can never
That'd be
get his
great.
name right?
Jim Chory.
Yeah, okay.
He said, with no new greenlit Marvel shows or pilot currently in the pipeline, we hear Chory felt it was a good time to leave.
Okay. I mean, maybe he just wants to retire.
Maybe.
He's been doing that for a
Which is
while.
fine.
I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did get renewed for season 6. Yeah, I think they're on season 6.
Okay.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Then we got some good news.
Ooh.
Ante Up.
Mm.
So it was suspected earlier this week that Disney would raise their bid for Fox.
Yeah.
And then the Ante Up remix,
Yeah.
which is they did raise their bid to $71.4 billion,
Wow.
which is crazy.
That is crazy.
So it's $38 per share in cash and stock. Disney will acquire 21st Century Fox immediately following the spin-off of the business compromising New Fox, as previously announced. The news comes after Comcast made an aggressive $65 billion all-cash offer last week, forcing Disney to increase the initial $52.4 billion purchase of the Fox acquisition.
What if Comcast's like, we didn't really want it anyway?
I mean, I fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not my money.
Yeah.
Just give me my characters.
Yep.
So that's pretty
Give me
good
my
news.
childhood.
We do have some really bad news coming, at least
Oh,
for me.
no.
Petty and Venomous. So if we all remember in the Venom trailer, we had a conversation about the way they pronounce what I've always
Symbiote.
called symbiote.
Yeah.
And they say symbiote.
Yeah.
And then in a Spider-Man comic or some shit just recently, like this guy is like, Eddie Brock, I know that voice anywhere. Mr. Sim, are you serious? That's your first name? Mr. Sim B, and they like spell it BEEYOTE. Like, so it's like they're saying it might be a jab.
Yeah.
And, like that's not how you pronounce it. The symbiote. I've always
Yeah,
said symbiote. I've always said symbiote. So I'm off.
Yeah,
too.
symbiote.
But it's apparently it's symbiote
Symbiote.
and not symbiote or symbiote. But it's symbiote's what I'm rolling with. I'm too much of an old dog now to be
Hold
learning
on a
new
second.
tricks.
Symbiote. Symbiote. I guess that's right.
Yeah, I mean it's their shit.
Symbiote's fine.
Thanks. Super robbed. We did not get the Superman game trailer.
Yeah, man.
Talking
that trash.
But the Rocksteady folks basically confirmed it. They were like, "Look, we're working on the game. We're working on a game that many people seem very excited about. It's not ready yet to be shown. As soon as it is, you'll see it."
You saw the other Superman game?
No.
You threw it away?
Maybe I have it if it was backward compatible because I don't have an Xbox anymore. I only have the 360.
I think it's Xbox 360.
Oh, could be. If it is, then I have it.
I kind of want to play it just for.
It's
just for
trash.
I know. I just want to remember how much trash it was.
The next note is if you have to explain it. So recently, Zack Snyder, I wish he would shut the fuck up. But he came out and said that this Doomsday is not the Doomsday. It's
Yeah.
just a Doomsday.
Yes.
And it's just like, dude, just stop.
Well, all right. So I think we kind of already knew this because the robot mentions, by Kryptonian decree that never again will a monster be made so full of hate. Blah 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 blah. So. I'm not surprised by this. I'm like, okay. There was already there. It was already prefaced. But the thing that I am angry about is like, okay, how can I didn't mind that this was a Doomsday, and there might possibly be the real Doomsday made on Krypton 1,000,000 years ago, because we never see it, right? And I don't like the fact that the Zod Doomsday, the Zod Day, was the one that killed Superman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
if this wasn't supposed to be the Doomsday,
Yes.
then don't have him perform the function that the Doomsday performs.
Yes.
Like that's my irritation with it too. Like
Yeah.
I'm okay with how they made this. If it was the Doomsday, I'm fine with that. That's
Yeah.
fine. But it just seems like so much like smoke and mirrors. Like, Look, everything that people have an issue with, it's not really what it was. It's kind of something else.
That's bullshit. Like, and don't get me wrong, I was never thrilled that Zod was Doomsday. You know, it
wasn't
worked
jumping
in
for
that.
joy, but
It
I was
worked in that
fine.
universe.
It didn't bother
You know
me.
what I'm saying? Like, okay, I understand that. You know, and I think you and I had a. You know, like this happened too fast. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
So we wanted to
But that
slow roll
doesn't matter
that.
what Doomsday it was.
Yeah. I mean, but I'll tell you right now.
Tell me.
To get that flash
now.
scene.
Tell me right now.
To get that flash scene,
Mhm.
it was well worth it. The price of admission.
Yeah.
That's
a great scene. It's a great scene.
Oh man,
I have a lot of issues with that movie, man.
It's fun. I haven't bought it yet.
Yeah.
Did you buy it? You
Oh.
watch it?
Yeah, I watched it with Laura.
I was ready to talk about it. Nerd Week a while back.
Next one is Beware the Savage War of 1984. All these pictures are surfacing of the production of Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
Chris Pine is in it.
Oh yeah.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Mm.
I'm not gonna write it off or anything,
Yeah.
obviously, but just in the sense of having a discussion about it, like
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel.
What
about
if
it.
Chris Pine wasn't even a man?
Like,
What if the Green Lantern ring saved him?
you can't have him mean what, as of right this second, in universe
Yeah,
he means
yeah,
to
yeah.
her and the decisions that she makes because of him. And
Yeah.
you can't have that and then bring him back in 84 and then have him die again.
So
And then it's like, it's ridiculous.
how about this?
Mhm.
How about this? Well, the problem is too is that we already know in the modern time she's still pining over him.
Right. So,
So-
it's like he has to die again
Well,
if they bring him back. Or
Yeah,
if it's
or-
or maybe it's not really him. There could be a number of reasons.
or you know, this could be in a flashback,
Sure.
or it could be in a flash forward. But dude, what if Steve Trevor, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Green Lantern ring saved him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And somehow the ring like slows down your metabolism, whatever, and he just changes his name to Hal Jordan, like in the future.
I'm not okay with it.
That'd be kind of crazy.
I'm not okay with
You
it.
wouldn't see that coming.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't see it coming if he was actually Wolverine. I wouldn't be okay with that either.
Well, that would make less sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would.
But you know, I don't care. You know, maybe she goes back and maybe she flies around the world and turns back time,
Please don't.
like Cher.
A flash in the pan. So they are officially dropping the darker Flashpoint narrative. For
They're not
the
even
Flash
calling
movie.
it Flashpoint
They're
anymore.
not
right?
calling it Flashpoint,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be dark. It's going to be more of a Back to the Future type movie. They say.
Ooh, he's gonna fuck his mom.
Hopefully.
Not that they ever did that in Back to the
Dude,
Future.
I don't like it. I don't. I mean, I guess it's because they're not happy with ticket sales at Justice League, but I don't like these creative people bending to the whims of angry tweets.
You know what's interesting, man? Oh, I do want to make a prediction right now.
Mhm.
I am predicting that Jurassic Park is going to fail,
Okay.
and I am predicting the reason why is I think that Chris Pratt is about to get some very negative stuff here recently. I think he's gonna get
Is he
some
being
hate.
Me Too?
No, he's actually making some like Jesus is Lord type comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like thank God, it's all because of God or some stuff like that. And I do think that the anti-religious establishment will smear him. There's going to be some negative writing about that. I'm putting it out there. The
I mean,
movie comes out Friday.
It could get negative. No, I'm going Saturday morning.
Okay,
It could get negative
'Cause it
just-
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, even if it sucks, the fact that the ticket sales did as well as they did last time,
Right.
and everybody fucking loved it.
But it was a comeback.
Yes, yeah.
So it was a Force Awakens.
So, but I don't know. I haven't heard any reviews, but I saw something on Chris Pratt. I was going to say Chris Pine again. Fuck. I just saw something with Chris Pratt, and like Chris Pratt makes comments about God. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So I guarantee,
I hope
we will
I
see
hope
some-
not. I mean, people can believe.
no, yeah, of course. But I looked at I rattled the bones and threw them on the ground. I cast the bones, and that's what the future told me.
We'll see.
So
I had to buy my tickets for that, as a matter of fact. Save One. So the Russo brothers talked with Kevin Smith about what they would do to right the wrongs of the DCEU.
Oh, really?
And it was pretty interesting. I haven't listened to the podcast, but I read the notes. Did you read them at all?
No.
So they're pretty interesting. They're like, look, Marvel.
I haven't had time to eat.
They were like, look, we aren't the biggest DC fans in the world to begin with, so
Yeah.
we're not here to tell DC what to do with their properties.
Oh, fuck you guys.
We imagine that DC knows what to do with DC.
Yeah.
And they were like, the
Was
glory.
this on Fat Man for Batman?
I think so.
Okay.
So the glory of our situation or Marvel situation was that we didn't have our big characters. We didn't have X-Men. We didn't have Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So we took our biggest characters that we had, Iron Man, Captain America, and we're able to do whatever we wanted with them. If I were DC, I would stop looking at Superman, stop looking at Batman, and look into their B and C list roster and start there. And
Green Arrow.
And make one good one.
Mm.
And Kevin Smith was like, dude, save one. You're giving them their own advice. Which is pretty funny.
How does Kevin Smith feel about the movies?
I think he has liked some and not others, and he thinks that they could be.
Why can't Kevin Smith do a fucking superhero movie?
I don't know if he's the one.
Why?
I don't know.
Is he?
I feel like he did a Superman script that I read like highlights of, and I was like, "Woof."
Well, no, I've read that too, but there's a caveat to that.
Okay.
The producer wanted the shit changed, wanted it changed. I read his original idea. It was fucking good.
Okay.
It's fucking real good.
And to be honest with you, I love Kevin Smith, and I love his movies.
Yeah.
But I love his movies about stoners a lot more than I love his comic book writing. Like I never read the Cat
Spider-Man Black Cat was
never read
good.
that.
That's
but
good.
I read the Batman book he did. Not great.
I don't read that one.
I have it here somewhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know if he's the savior to DC, but it was an interesting thing. Like, DC did. They definitely were making movies with the idea of making Justice League as soon as they could. After Man of Steel, I feel like.
I don't know if that's true. Like it's easy to say that, but I mean, Zack Snyder did say he wanted Superman, Batman vs Superman, Justice League to be like a 1, 2, and 3.
He said
that was his original idea.
He said that later.
True,
Yeah.
true. But I kind of take Zack Snyder for his word with stuff like that because he really doesn't have anything to lose at this point.
Yeah,
but he's still somewhat affiliated with DC. Like
I think that probably as soon as he got to Batman vs Superman, he started thinking about Justice League. But I think the point that they're raising is maybe it was still too soon to be thinking about Justice League. And maybe a Zack Snyder Man of Steel 2 or a Zack Snyder Batman movie would have fit better.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that these DC movies will be more favored as time goes on?
No, I kind of feel like they're being forgotten.
Okay.
Which I think is a bummer. I just talked to Deluxe recently.
Yeah.
And he watched Man of Steel, I think, for the first time.
Okay.
And he's like, this is really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know, man.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, I think, like...
But that is the one data point. Like,
well, no. But
I'm talking to people all the time, and I'm like, dude, have you seen Man of Steel? They're like, Man of Steel.
Well, do you think it has a possibility of becoming a cult classic? You know what I mean? Like some films like never do well, and then all of a sudden, like 10, 15 years down the line, they're like, people just like, oh, dude, let's watch fucking Man of Steel.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unfortunately, I mean, I love Man of Steel. I like Batman vs Superman Uncut. I like Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it I can do without.
You liked the fan cut that we got of Justice League? I thought you liked it.
No, you liked it a lot. I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I thought it was better.
Yeah,
but still not good.
Oh.
But I don't think that was their fault. I think it's the raw materials.
But it was definitely a lot better.
I don't think it was a lot better.
It was a lot better.
I think it was a smidgen. But it's just like that movie, man. I wish I'd never watched it a second time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I was so. I think the first
like
time.
You.
I think the first time I watched it, I was so worried it was going to be a piece of shit that when it wasn't a total piece of shit, I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's fine.
Yeah.
Come on in. It's safe here now. But then watching it a second time, I was like, oh God. What a
well,
kick
you
in
know
the
what? And
balls.
watching it a second time after we watched that fan cut, that was decent. You know what I mean?
Not for me, man.
You don't think the fan cut was
No,
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not saying you're a liar.
Yeah, no, you go back and listen.
I remember, I recall leaving that like, okay, this didn't have the same effect that the BVS extended cut had, but it definitely was a 0.5.
You loved it. Like,
Yeah,
you liked it a lot.
I'm talking about this, what you said.
No.
I thought you definitely gave it a 0.5 or a 1 over.
I kept maybe a 0.5 easily,
Okay.
but I kept correcting you when you were like, oh, it's much better, and I was like, it's better. I kept like, from my it's better, but it's still it's the raw materials. Like, I think it's as good as it could be given what they had to work with.
Yeah,
the fans,
I still would be interested to see a Donner cut.
Snyder cut. Me too.
Snyder cut. Yeah,
me too. Let's see. So then we have Adam and Bobby both win. Green Lantern Corps confirms Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
That's right, motherfucker.
They're probably going to be fucking supporting characters because it seems like they're going full blast with these two new characters, Jessica Cruz and that dude I don't give a fuck about.
I mean, all right. So this is the point that I kind of feel as if you have the main, listen, and this isn't a race thing because we all know that I want Jon Stewart.
Right.
I think that he's the most mainstream Green Lantern because he was in the animated show.
And I want Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Once again, it has nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
It's just my preferred Lantern.
But I will say, I feel as if they want to do the female in, the Islamic Green Lantern. Just it's like, why are y'all doing these? Like, I hear you that they're in the comic book now. I understand that, but that comic book is not as well known as the classic characters. And Hal's already had a shot. He had Ryan Reynolds be Hal. Let's bring Jon Stewart. You know what I mean? But I feel like they're making this fucking play, man. It's like, what?
I honestly think it just has to do with
the newest book.
The newest book, because
I think it's dumb.
Because if they were, I agree, it's dumb because I don't think these characters are beloved. Like,
yes.
But I think it has to do with the same reason why they chose the members of Suicide Squad that they chose. Like, it's what's current in vogue. And I think they're trying to make one hand wash the other with that stuff. But because if they wanted to, in my opinion, if they wanted to play, let's say they wanted to play the race angle, they could just go Jon Stewart and be done.
Well, yeah, but they want to play the race. They want to play the religion, the female angle.
Well, you can still play the female angle by having Star Sapphire be a big role in it. Like, there's a lot of
as the antagonist
eventually, but not initially.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's a lot of workarounds there. I think it's really motivated by trying to keep the books and the movies as constant and consistent as they can. And I think it's the wrong play.
Yeah,
I think it's the wrong play.
it's dumb.
Let's see. Then we have another move for Johns. Because whenever we move Johns around, it means
bad things.
Not right.
Yeah.
But he steps down as DC president and chief creative officer. And he's signed an exclusive deal with Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment that will see Johns write, produce, and develop movies, TV, and comics. So, I don't know,
what does that mean, man? Is that a promotion?
It's all of his titles, I feel like, are fucking meaningless.
They're vague.
Like, I'm the assistant manager. Well, you're the assistant to the manager. I took on a role at DCE because I love the characters in this universe more than anything, but I want to spend my days writing and on set. I'm thrilled and get back to a more hands-on creative role. It's a dream job on dream projects, reaching even deeper into the DC vast pantheon of characters. I mean, it all sounds good. It just sounds like the same
bullshit
they
man.
feed us every time.
I'm not buying it. They're not happy. Because they won't let these motherfuckers do their thing.
I agree.
Stop Hollywooding them.
I agree.
Jesus.
So this last note is for DC. I need someone to help me make sense of all this. This is the definitive list at the moment of rumored and in production DC films. Because I feel like every fucking week it gets more and more confusing.
Yeah, it's been a couple months, but continue.
Right. No. Yeah, but I said every week.
Yeah.
So, Man of Steel 2, rumored.
Okay. Even though what's his face has reported to get back into Man of Steel shape.
Yes,
okay.
But it's all rumor because nothing is 100% confirmed.
Yeah.
The Flash, confirmed.
Yep.
Suicide Squad 2, semi-confirmed.
Fuck.
Black Adam, rumored. Green Lantern Corps, confirmed. The Batman, confirmed. Sort of,
Yeah,
is what it says.
because now they're talking about a younger Batman.
Yeah, because it says
Like-
reliable sources reveal that Reeves' Batman is going to be quite a bit younger than the one played by Affleck.
So Affleck is still Batman, but they might bring another Batman in to be the younger Batman.
Yeah,
What if they use Casey Affleck?
that would be cool.
Would it?
I
Would it be
think so.
cool?
I think Casey could do it. I think Casey's a good actor.
I think he's a good actor too.
I think he might still be too old.
Yeah, maybe.
Cyborg, canceled.
Really?
Lobo, rumored.
Oh,
Birds of Prey, confirmed.
really?
The Joker, semi-confirmed, ×2.
Oh, dumb.
Nightwing, rumored. Batgirl, confirmed. Gotham City Sirens, canceled.
Really?
Harley Quinn vs. the Joker, rumored. Justice League Dark, rumored. Deathstroke, rumored. Injustice League, rumored. Aquaman, confirmed. Shazam, confirmed. Wonder Woman 84, confirmed. New Gods, confirmed.
You know
That's
what?
it.
I'm not mad at New Gods.
I'm not either. Just,
You know why? Because we have no point of reference.
right.
Whatever.
That might be what the
they
Russo
could
brothers shit.
Yeah, they could. You know what? They could fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, people are like, "Fucking Mr. What is his name? Big Bertha and Mr. Goddamn.
Oh, Mr. Miracle.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle. You know what I mean?
Orion.
Yeah. You know, Orion stuffy dolls. You know what I mean?
Dude,
I mean,
I want Big Bertha to be a beast.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I wanted to be like, oh, no wonder.
Who are we talking about? Big Bertha and Superman having an affair?
Big Bertha is the most fucked up name for a super chick.
Yeah,
ever.
she's hot too, man.
Yeah, but if you were
Legs
like a
for
superhero,
days.
if you were like a superhero and you were a chick and you were like
Or is it Big Barda? It's Big Barda.
Big Barda, Big Bertha. You know what Big Bertha is?
Shh. Hold on a second. I was trying to say Pee-wee's Adventure, right?
Maybe, but that's not what I'm thinking.
Oh, that's
about.
Big. That's Big Marta.
Yeah, Big
And
Bertha.
you look like this.
Big Bertha was the name of my dad's golf club. He had a golf, and it was like the proper name of it. Like it was like it wasn't the brand, but it was like the name of the club. It was like Halloway's Big Bertha, and it was like a driver
Oh, okay.
and a flyer. And
Dude, have you had the itch to go back and see that at all?
yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Like I said, I want to see it. I want to see it one time without expectation. I want to know those feels. So we have a lot of questions this week.
So many questions.
So many questions. We did get a comment on our YouTube. Our show is available on YouTube now, by the way. He said, love the show, gentlemen. Keeps me occupied to and from work. Following you on PODBEAN as well. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, sir.
And then we have one from Lowell that said, I really don't like the Rose character that much, but I hated the Rose Finch last story. It goes into the whole, his thoughts
I'll
on
let him say it.
It's long. Not because of who played the character, but the actual writing of the whole adventure. It actually made me dislike Finn, whom I really enjoyed in Force Awakens, but I do not believe there's a feminist agenda taking over Star Wars. My problems with Last Jedi was just the writing in general. As far as JJ's Star Trek, I really don't like what he did with those movies, especially the second one. For example, if you were having a meeting of all the high-making Starfleet officers in a time when most vehicles can fly, would you not have air defenses? Why would Khan actually fly the vehicle that attacked Starfleet and not use a drone? I could fill a whole page on the problems with that movie. I enjoyed the third the best. The interactions between the characters was much better. Good conversation, guys. I enjoyed the first one the best.
The third one was good until they get to the Beastie
Beastie Boys
Boys
shit
shit.
kills
That was
me.
dumb.
But I love the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
It's just like
I don't.
You don't.
And it
but
was
I-
dumb.
But I don't want ice cream on my pizza. Like
Yeah.
Like I don't want.
Have you ever tried ice cream on your pizza though?
To be fair, no.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
What if that's the best thing ever?
I loved Dipset, but I don't want to hear them in the cantina.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
But I think that.
What if Snoots came down with a fucking bad dipset track?
What if Snoots is wild. size noodles Snoots. What if
Bring
Snoots,
those wheels of steel.
what if Snoots did have like a new person in the band that was like on digital
Yeah,
equipment, like with sampling?
Dipset? Dipset?
So anyway, yeah, no, I hear him on all of his points. And my thing isn't even with the Luke video. Like I had a lot of people that comment on the Luke video. Most of them, to be fair, I expected all
Negative,
hate, but
yeah.
I got a lot of positive
Yeah.
responses.
I mean, it was a good video, man.
But thank you. But there was a lot of people
In
on
your
there.
opinion.
Did I show you that shit? This is a whole separate conversation. God, This Twitter conversation. I should have never entered it.
I know, dude.
I should
Well,
have
you should know
never,
better.
ever
Twitter is
entered it.
fucking fuck Twitter.
But somebody was like,
except for Nerd Rage.
you know,
Twitter.
somebody had a thing on there about, you know, that they like my video. The problems they have with Last Jedi is Luke's story and the story itself are so intertwined that they can't separate one from the other. And
That's fair.
Yep,
That's
totally
that's
fair.
part of my issue.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
And I tweeted back. I was just like, yeah, I get that. And I was like, and I'm not trying to, I don't forget my exact verbiage, but I was like, I'm not trying to sway anybody to like this movie or not like this movie.
Yeah.
The video is just about the character of Luke in this movie and
How it
and
makes
what
you
means for him.
feel. Yeah.
And somebody was
In
like,
your opinion.
and somebody responded, in your opinion. And I was like, no, not in my opinion. That's a fact.
The
And they were
video's
like-
about Luke.
And they were like, yeah. And they were like, no, it's in your opinion. You forgot to say in your opinion. And I was like, I didn't forget to say it because the video is about Luke and not about trying to sway you to like The Last Jedi, about trying to pose a lens for you to see Luke through. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then they went on, they carried on and I abstained. And
Hashtag me too.
Stop wasting my time.
The one, and I'm going to be fair
Mhm.
and honest and true to myself. And we talked about this a little bit.
Mhm.
The only thing that I feel that you neglected to express, which would be part of my opinion, is that, you know, you talked about how naive Luke was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
a part of it.
a main premise for you. And Luke is naive. He's definitely more naive in episode 4. He's still a little naive in episode 5. And even naive in episode 6.
Mhm.
But I do think that we didn't see Luke become a man until he threw away his lightsaber in episode 6.
Well, the other thing that I wanted to drive home into that, which is what I think the biggest missing link, is my biggest regret of leaving out,
Yeah.
is that it's not how the naivete
Yeah.
affects his character as much as it is the him being naive. It makes him throughout the saga make drastic, irrational choices, and a lot of times he has people and guidelines and bumpers to
Yeah.
kind of keep him in check.
Okay.
But at the end, he doesn't. Like after 6, he doesn't have those checks and balances. So like I can see him realistically making extreme choices because he seems like a guy that makes extreme choices. And I
Now,
can
give me an example. What you mean?
So running off on Obi-Wan to some damn crusade.
Okay.
Prior to that, he was going to join the Academy just to get away, the Imperial Academy, even though
Okay.
he hates the Empire.
Yeah.
But he's going to join.
Yeah. He's talking about joining.
No, I mean he wants to join. He's Owen's keeping him back another season.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, running off from Dagobah. You know, the moment that he thinks his friends are in trouble. Like there's just, I'm not saying that the choices that he makes are bad choices,
Mhm.
but what I'm saying is that there's not a lot of weighing of pros and cons in his decision making. It's a lot of like, I'm going.
I hear you.
I'm gonna go and change my father back to the good side. I can do it.
Yeah.
Kind of. Only by getting your ass thoroughly kicked. It's not gonna. This is not going to go the way you think. You know.
I can see where you're coming from. I don't really think you're giving him enough slack. I think you're being.
It's
I
not
think
really
you're
a matter
being.
of slack. It's just like
Well, no, I think you're being like, for example.
I think it's the turnoff to The Last Jedi for a lot of people because I think that people see him as a guy who never gives up, who always goes forward, who always pushes.
He's always
forward.
hopeful.
Yeah. Yes, but I think that it's also yes, he is doing those things, but a lot of times those decisions are spur of the moment. I'm going to make this happen.
Well, for example, when his aunt and uncle die and he buries them and he's fucking, this world is destroyed, literally. He's like, no, I'm going to go with you and be a Jedi like my father before me.
Mhm.
That's some hopeful shit.
I'm
and
not
I-
saying it's not hopeful.
Yeah, and I don't think it's irrational because Obi-Wan has already pled the case for what he should do. And he listens to Obi-Wan on that one. He does go on this damn crusade with that foolish old
Man.
foolish old Kermit, E-Frog.
What if he did go on a foolish crusade with Kermit?
Dude, that needs to be Black Phillip's next
Because he was on the Muppets.
in
Muppets are in
2020.
universe.
Yeah, I do. 2020, Damned Crusade, starring Luke Skywalker.
And
What color would Kermit's lightsaber be?
Green.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Wouldn't that be too much?
Or
Too on the nose?
maybe pink.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, I just think that like I think the same thing. Like I think it's him making the same series of decisions, except that this time the decision is so opposite.
I can say to this is that like I think that the writers of episode 8, I think that you're in line with the way they interpreted Luke's character, and I think they also had the ability to change the narrative to reflect that interpretation, right? I think that we could have easily written Luke's character in episode 8 that would totally, go against some of those key points, right?
Sure.
So there's definitely something there. There's definitely value in the way his character arc went. But here's my big
real quick with that.
Yeah,
though,
sure.
Just to interject, the big problem of almost it going any other way would be about his inaction on Starkiller Base. Like that would be an issue for me. Because
he was cut off from the Force, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But he made that rash decision. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah, but I mean, I'm saying they could have written in some place that he was in a null zone, or he couldn't use the Force, or he was in a coma. You know what I mean? Like,
well, not if she shows up to give him the lightsaber at the end of 7.
Oh yeah. Well, but he could be stuck on that island with no ship. You know what I mean? Like we don't know until it's written. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying it would have been like, and I said in the video, like that having him not be there to save Han Solo.
Yeah, sucked.
It puts him in a real
Well,
pickle.
let me
to explain that.
And with that, there's some aspects of episode 7 that I did not like. You know what I mean? And
I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
So
looking at it to try to write yourself out of that.
In that video, I was happy because it did make me realize something very interesting. And I do feel like there's this narrative that's going on right now in the world, and art does reflect the politics that are going on in the world, the feeling, the undertones, zeitgeist, whatever you want to say, is that I believe there is this rejection of the past because we are looking through a different moral compass now, right? And because information is so quick, it's so accessible, it's so recorded, and we can communicate about things, there's this moral authority that we project amongst ourselves and judge on past actions. And we've seen it, time and time again, like people wanting to take down George Washington plaques, or, spray painting racist on Thomas Jefferson's statue and everything, right? And so I had this conversation with my sociology professor. I think I said this another thing. She's like, well, this, I can't, get behind a country that, was created on raping and pillaging and killing people, and it's like, well, listen here, that's how every civilization was made. That's how somebody back in the day was a fucking ruthless barbarian, and they fucking killed some other ruthless barbarian. I'm not justifying that behavior, right? All I'm saying is it was a different time. But in the same breath, I don't like some of the shit that the Catholic Church did, you know what I mean, back in the day. I don't like some of the shit they're doing now, but they did. But
preach.
Yeah, but at one point, they did get to, there was an enlightenment. There was, art, there was reading. We started becoming better, and we started, evolving our sensibilities, our rationality. I mean, it is a process, and it doesn't happen overnight. But I think with the Western civilization specifically, we get to this point where we're so used to the norms of it, of what it brought us, of just being a matter of fact, freedom and being able to say what you want to do. We don't understand the bloodshed that happened, and we want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And the example of this that we said before is like Sigmund Freud, right? Before Freud came to light in his theories, nobody thought there was any correlation or any causation or whatever the fuck you want to say with what happened to somebody's childhood and how they behave as an adult. That concept was completely devoid, right? But now it just automatically assumed that everybody knows that. So when we talk about Freud, all we do is talk about penises and cigars and Oedipus. We talk about like the dumb shit that he did. And I think there's like a certain rejection of Western civilization because of some of the dumb shit that we do, because now we're getting better. and we're kind of forgetting the good shit. And I think that I say that to say this. I think that's kind of being projected on the Jedi Order at this point. Like the Jedi Order and what we've seen from the prequels of like how yes, they had hubris. Yes, they had their failures. Yes, they didn't see the darkness coming. But dude, they fucking helped make a civilization that lasted thousands of years and became the pinnacle of galactic peace and prosperity in a galaxy. You know, and like not for nothing, the first time they fuck up by an adversary who got inside and learned all their weaknesses, and now they're trash. Now they're garbage.
Well, no,
that's the bit. That's the bit that I have problems with.
I think even when we watched the prequels, I mean, I got into countless conversations during that time of, is this right?
They taking little kids and
yeah,
whatever.
You know,
maybe.
like, are their actions correct here?
Yeah,
like. You know, so
and that's a good conversation. I love to have that conversation.
Yeah, but like the thing is that like, like so, I can approach this subject.
I mean, do you hear what I'm saying with that? Do you see the parallels?
I do, man. But I also think that if you look hard enough for anything, you're gonna find it. Like wait a minute.
Okay.
For me, it's all in universe.
Okay.
Like I don't bring any of the baggage into it. Do you know what I mean? So like I'm not when I'm watching those films and I'm thinking about the concepts in those films, I'm not relaying it at all to real world. Upon my watching and enjoying,
I know you may believe that, but the way we see the world, the way we view anything, is so saturated with our upbringing and our culture,
maybe, but like
that it's hard to see anything else.
I'm never. To me, the Jedi Council is just like a Jedi Council. The Jedi Order is just a Jedi Order. It's not a metaphor for bigger things. There are some things that are blatant, that's hard to ignore.
Yeah.
Like our president signing the Patriot Act and
yes.
This is how freedom dies with thunderous
yes.
applause. Like that
yeah.
was a hard one to not assimilate. The extreme rebels in Jeddah and the situation in Syria, that's a hard one not to assimilate. But I think for the most part, I'm able to take everything at face value in universe.
Yeah.
So I don't need to bring any excess baggage to the table. And it would drive me nuts if I couldn't do that. I think with everything.
I hear you, but I mean, there's definitely, and with me, and this is all how I feel.
Sure.
And with me, I pick up this parallel and I'm like, oof, see, that's that shit that people just want to reject. You know, they want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I mean?
No,
of Western civilization.
I heard you say that.
And I think there's some undertones in that. And I think this is fucked up. I think there's folks out there that aren't fucking educated enough or conscious enough or awake enough to realize woke to realize like the shit that's going on, that we are giving our freedoms away with thunderous applause. You know, there was like I saw this thing somebody did. I think it was during Memorial Day. It was like this little like fucking like soldier's poem or something. But it talked about, you know, you pay taxes on you continue to pay taxes on homes you already own. And I was like, God damn. That is some shit. Not to say that I don't want to pay taxes, right? But like, if you think about that, you can never own anything. Even if you paid off this house, you still have to pay. You pay for it, and that's like a concept that was not originally in shit. Did he fart again?
No, but I mean, like, I feel like, yeah, he's always farting. He's dying on the inside. And the outside. I feel like, you know, I could dive into the resistance, and I could draw parallels of how that's a metaphor for the West.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you search hard enough for it, you can correlate your feelings about whatever something is, or your feelings as far as what the, you know, agenda or whatever the situation is, to whatever particular meaning you want. I could draw the same correlations about the people that are, you know, the extreme, you know, thought police and idea police type of folks, and correlate that to the First Order, and not to, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's an easier parallel for me to make, you know, because I don't think I view Star Wars cynically. I think for me, it's always like a fun fantasy adventure.
I don't know. I think I maybe you choose not to see that stuff. You know,
Maybe- I
maybe
mean-
you don't want it to be like that.
And maybe vice versa.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We do have a lot more questions though.
Okay, but it was an excellent video. I think that you did. I think that you did give Luke a lot of justice for how they worked with him, and it made me like his plight a little bit better because I understood your perspective.
Well, I appreciate you saying it because that video, the motivation for that video for me is really like I've told you, privately, is that like, this movie really made me love Luke, like, and just wanting to share that really is really what it came down to. Like, dude, I was having this conversation with Tyler and Chris. We've been having like a serious, the doll chat has been popping.
I'm not invited. I only get one doll.
Yeah, you don't have enough dolls to participate. But the conversation has been about like top 5 dolls you would want that haven't been announced or anything from this. And one that we haven't done yet is episode 8. And I'm chomping at the bit because I've been waiting to get to it because Force Projection Luke is my number 1 choice.
Okay.
Just because like I love it. I love that element so much.
Is it Force Protection Luke or Flashback Luke?
I've gotten so I think that like I don't know if anything's been decided upon with that because I don't think a toy has been made of it yet.
Okay.
So they haven't had like a proper name. Like I was calling, trash bag Luke. I called him Trash Bag Luke for a long time, and then I called him Disgruntled Luke after I saw the movie.
Yeah.
And like I think that like the name for it now is Exile Luke.
Okay, maybe Jedi Master Luke.
And, that's another one. Like just real quick, I hate to go back to that video, but somebody did make a comment in that video that I was like, damn, like that's something I wish like where were you when I needed a team of writers?
Yeah.
But they were like, this video taught me something in the sense he was like, I walked into this movie wanting to see Jedi Knight Luke, and I got Jedi Master Luke, and I didn't know how to sit with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, like But Force Projection Luke would be number 1 on my list, and then probably Snoke. But it actually
or Snooky.
I said, I would take a Hot Toy Snooky, spray on tan. I had this conversation with Laura.
What if she changed colors when you put her in cold water?
I had this conversation with Laura about like top 5 dolls to get, and like what's interesting is once we got to 7 and 8, it got challenging. And because the question is about what characters that that they haven't announced, and of course they've done the big ones.
Hey, where's your Iron Man?
The payment plan is in process. It's not out yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were getting an older one.
I am, but it's not an older one. It's a newer one of an older version.
Oh.
But I got into 7 and 8, and I was like, man, like there's not a lot of good because it's like we talked about. I don't know if it was Nerd Rage. I think it was the bonus episode we just did.
Check it out on Patreon.
Where we were talking about
really get your money out of
the
it.
badassery that's missing.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I don't know who else I want. I'm like, maybe the fucking fat mobster guy in Maz's bar. I don't know because there's not a lot of badassery. Like Rogue One has it all over the place.
Yeah,
it's fucking littered with badassery. Give me the tutus. Give me the 2-pack tutus. Give me the whole like Saul's big white Wookiee thing.
So
give me that fucking thing.
Are we at? Do we have Star Wars rumors to go over yet?
Yeah, we still have Star Wars again.
Okay.
Anyway, what's the deal? What is the point of? All right, so this is from Kevin R. Shout out to Kevin, good dude. He said, "What's the point of T-ball? And do you guys deal with these obnoxious parents at team sports?" So you kind of commented on that recently
on the Patreon.
And then he said,
"Check it out on
Patreon.com."
Patreon.com.
Sure he's a Patreon supporter.
Okay.
And then he said, "P.S. No matter how much sunblock a nerd applies, you still look like a fat Hellboy the next day."
What's that?
He said, no matter how much sunblock a nerd applies, you still look like a fat Hellboy the next day. I don't know. I'll tell you that T-ball, for me, I was never allowed to play it. I played...
hold on, let me guess. Wait. Bobby, you're not going to stand out there like an idiot and hit a ball off a stick. Somebody's going to pitch it at you at a reasonable speed for your motor skills to be able to connect to the ball and bat.
It was,
and if you haven't figured out how to do that, we'll keep on practicing till you do.
It was very similar. I mean, it was just that my father said this. We used to go out of town for me to play Little League until the area that we grew up had pitching for baseball, because prior to that it was only T-ball. It was like T-ball until you were 6, and then baseball. So we used to go out of town.
Yeah,
and the reason why is because they had parents pitching, and my dad said,
it teaches you false concepts. When you get to play baseball, that ball is not going to be there waiting for you to hit it.
Okay.
You know, and like
That's more elegant than my explanation.
And so I never played t-ball. I'm in a situation where I'm thinking about putting my kids in t-ball this year. Well, Selena, because same thing. It's not offered baseball, like, or, you know, pitching softball anywhere.
Yeah,
It's
they gotta be
all-
7.
Yeah. So, and I want her to play. Like, I think she's an athletic person.
Yeah,
So, like,
definitely.
I want
Selena?
I want to nurture
Yeah.
that.
Dude, Jana better watch out. Because about 2 years, she's
Oh,
going
yeah.
to be able to whoop her ass.
Yeah. Selena can low key whoop her ass now.
For real.
Those legs and but Jana always looks like a giraffe just learning how to walk. With these fucking long ass legs. But yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, Selena looks like a dancer.
So this is from
I'll tell you about, the kids' thing with us. Yeah, like, I don't want to associate with those people. Like, we went to this fucking softball party. I was there for like 30 minutes, and then I went and slept in the car. I mean, like, I hate to be that guy, but like, listen, dude, I don't fucking care about high school. You know what, man? The guys, there's 2 people I can't stand. The guys that keep on talking about high school when they're 40, and the military guys who didn't retire from the military, who are like in for 6 years, and all they do is talk about the military, and that was 20 years ago. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, listen, I don't want to hear about a story from when you're 14 to you're 18, and I want to hear a story about from you're 18 to you're 24. Okay? Talk to me about some real shit that happened yesterday or recently. Are you going to do? Don't fucking tell me about some bullshit.
as long as it's real shit, that's all I care about.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to,
fluff talk.
well, there's no real shit that an 18-year-old's going to tell me.
Yeah.
You know?
So this is from Sam. Shout out to Sam M. We haven't heard from you in a while, so it was nice to hear from you. He said, "Yeah, I watched Coco with my sons, and multiple times throughout the movie, and especially at the end, I was a sobbing mess. Soft, old, and trash."
I do want to see that movie.
Later that
It was
night, I
sad.
watched The Dark Knight Rises. Same thing. Soft, old trash. The whole ending sequence had me in tears. I'm wondering, am I getting soft in my old age? Yes. Have you guys experienced this too? Yes. The older I get, especially after having kids, sorry, Joe, you'll never know that happiness. Movies seem to get a more emotional response out of me. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Hey, did Joe land safely?
I don't know. He's coming home today. I don't
Yeah.
know if his flight is in yet.
Did you hear what I said? He's like, you'll get all my stuff. And I wrote back, half.
Yeah, well, I made a jab at it earlier too. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Anyway,
I do. Let's go to that chat real quick because there's some good zingers. And since Joe is not
let's answer
here,
this question though.
okay.
Dude, I'm right there. Like, I'm a fucking mess these days. I
Really?
don't know why. Like, I've been feeling very emotional in regard to like movies and things that I love, and
Yeah.
I've also been feeling extremely sentimental.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but like,
dude, start listening to some Johnny Cash.
I got out. I can't do that. I got out. I mean, Johnny Cash is fine, but I got to be in the right. It's a very mood specific thing for me. I got out like a photo album and went through it with, Jana and the kids the
Yeah.
other day, and like they're, like, this is my mom. They're like, that's her. Like, she's smiling, and I'm like, she smiles. Like, doesn't seem like she ever smiles. When I hear about it, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, she's not a monster.
Yeah,
She's just ahead of the curve. But so yeah, dude, I don't know if it's an age thing or if it's a kids thing. I don't know if Joe can be our control group,
yeah,
but
because he'll never know.
But yeah, dude, I'm definitely in that same boat. I'm a fucking mess. Any Star Wars movie, I don't think there's one I can get through without fucking welling up.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think, and I seriously don't know. Like, episode 1, dude, is when Anakin doesn't turn back and then turns back to look at his mom. Like, that fucking gets me.
really.
Yep. Episode 2, when they get married at the end, that fucking gets me.
Yeah.
Episode 3, there's fucking numerous parts of episode 3, but especially when the you're breaking my heart and all that shit, like, it fucking gets me.
Huh.
And Solo, not so much. Rogue One, plenty of times. The fucking hope line from Leia at the end fucking gets me. Like, I don't even want to be in the same room with another man when that fucking movie comes on, because I am no good, 100%.
Dude, maybe we need to talk to somebody about
Episode
this stuff.
4, when he looks out at the suns,
Oh yeah,
and when they come in to the temple at the end for their awards, gets me.
really.
Empire, it's
I know.
that gets me.
Was he licking his balls?
No, he's just licking himself. Lay down.
I just joke. He has no balls.
Jedi, it's the party at the end.
Yeah.
Fucking gets me. 7, I'm not. Well, when Chewie were home,
Yeah,
it's true. All of it, all that shit gets me.
I get little goosebumps for that piece.
And then 8, I'm a fucking mess for like half of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, a fucking mess.
Huh.
And then
you know what, man? Or maybe I've been misjudging you on the Star Wars Episode 8. And maybe I think that you just got so much pent up in here. I'm pointing to my chest, and you don't have a proper way to release it. That maybe for whatever reason,
catalyst.
This shitty movie has cracked that exterior of you, and it tapped you.
Dude, it's
tapped you.
That whole bit with him and Leia's conversation,
like a maple.
That little fucking
tree.
wink he gives 3PO.
Yeah.
Like so much of it, just fucking.
I feel you.
I
mean, I get that way with like Hook. It's like, oh, there you are, Peter. And just about, you know what it is about that movie? It's like the growing up part where you forget the people who were important to you when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And that shit happens your whole life. You meet these people, and like they might be somebody you see every day and you love hanging out with, you love talking to, and then all of a sudden they just say, yeah, what happened to so and so? And then before you know it, you don't know them anymore.
Yeah.
Like that friendship, that connection dies. You know?
I'm trying to think if I feel like there's another one recently.
While you're thinking.
Yeah.
While you're thinking, here's some of the swimming with dolphins comments that goes on. About the board, this is from Joe. About the board, let me know when you're, let me leave you with a weird Japanese culture. Janitors clean public bathrooms consistently while being in use. Almost 100% of these janitors have been, he even spelled with his accent, have been female in my experience. They are mopping around you, the urinals as you pee. And I said, cool. Sounds like a start of a good porn scene. Where's that bit with the half bit?
Well,
oh, there it is. I take off at 4:10 and land at 3:45 the same day, and the same and time travel is and they say time travel is impossible. LOL from Bobby. Travel safe. You get all my shit if I don't. Half.
Wait, because I had a zinger in there too. I'm trying to find it because I was asking him about because there was an earthquake over there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to. So I said, I said, Joe, you good? He said, I'm in Japan. Hold on, let me see when I get back. He thought I was talking about doing the nerd rage.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, no, I mean from the earthquake over there, not the show. But your response tells me all I need to know. You're good. And he said, I land at 4 p.m. Yeah. And then I said, seeing some of the people's fucked up collection makes me sad. The dead kid and people are sad too. And I said, I was about to fuck yours up.
We had it all broken down was that on the regular podcast or was it on Patreon?
I think that was regular. So what about you? Any movies getting you?
So definitely, so Hook for sure. Recently, let me think. Recently, I've been soft for a while. It's I kind of feel like I've hit that. I'm up back on the upswing, not being so soft. I will tell you, if I watch that last scene of 6 Feet Under.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I just need a good cry, and I'll fucking play that. Like, cause I went through a period of time. I'm not bullshitting. Like when all this shit with my mom started going on, and I've been so fucked up about it. I want to say there's like 2 to 3 years that I was incapable of crying, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I just wish I could just cry. And I'd be like in therapy talking to somebody. Like, you can cry about this. Like, I'm like, dude, I want to, but I'm dead inside. I'm fucking dead inside. I didn't tell you about my 2.5 hour conversation with her yet, did I?
You mentioned it to me.
Yeah. We didn't have time to talk.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day to Adam and Bobby and to any guests this week who qualify. No guests. Inspired by Uncle Dolphin's current fantasy vacation in a perfect world, what would be your ideal vacation? Where would you go? What would you do and why? Would your kids be there too? That would also be perfectly behaved in this fantasy world. Or would it just be you and your significant other? Would you be touring Texas, Roadhouse, restaurants around the country?
Roadhouse. Dude, the last couple times I've been there, they've been trash.
That sucks.
I don't know if it's like the time of day.
So mine would be like perfect, like, dream shit for me would be like go out to like California, do like see Hollywood and see all that shit.
With the kids?
Yeah, that's fine.
Really?
They're perfectly behaved in this fantasy environment.
Oh, okay. My fantasy just doesn't get that fantastic.
get to go to like Skywalker Ranch and all that kind of shit.
Okay,
like,
that's cool.
And see all that stuff, and then maybe if I could swing it, hit the Maynard Winery in Phoenix on the way home, and then fly out. It'd be like ideal. But like that's like you got to be VIP. Like you can't just go to that. It doesn't matter the situation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be to do Europe again, but do like England and Paris and Ireland and Germany and the rest of it. You know?
Gotcha.
You?
Probably Disney World.
Shoot for the stars.
Just take the kids to Disney World. I mean, I do like all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like all the stuff. You know what, man? I'm getting to the point I don't really care for roller coasters anymore. And it's not like I'm scared of them or anything. I'm just like, meh.
So my thing with roller coasters is like I'm getting to a point. I mean, I like getting the kids on them and going on with them, but like where like by the end of the day after we run them all,
You're sore.
I'm not sore, but I'm a little like, all right, let's really slow it down now. You know, like let's.
Your body's like, you're trash.
My body's like Elliot in fucking True Romance.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean, like
Sit the fuck down.
it's just a little queasy.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm a little uneasy. You know,
Yeah.
like in this, I just need a little bit of time, like go on a little boat ride or some shit to get my bearings again.
So my parents, my mom and my stepdad always have had a boat for many years. And I remember the summer when I was like 24, I was out there like fucking knee boarding and being pulled on the tube and tubing. And we had like that big ass banana, so to speak, that you would like jump on top of.
Uh-huh.
And like it looked like a banana. And like just getting thrown around and bouncing and, you know, slipping off that thing and, you know, and it being fine, right? And then like 25, might have been 26. I got on there and went like one time being pulled that thing like, I'm like, I'm done. I do not want to fucking do this anymore. And like, I mean, it was like, I was like super looking forward to it and shit. I was like, oh, sweet, man. And I don't know what I don't know what it was, but I was like, nope. Don't want to be jostled around.
I hear you. I mean, like I used to go on all that shit, like like the
jet skiing and shit.
The room that spins and holds you
Oh
up
yeah,
against the
yeah,
wall
yeah,
with
yeah.
centrifugal force.
Try to do push-ups.
I'm not doing that shit now.
Nope.
I'm not even going in.
Dude,
Like,
I refuse. Dude, I'm such a fucking helicopter parent. I refuse to let my kids get on the fucking carny rides. They're not allowed.
Really?
Not allowed. They go to fair. It's been like, because, all right. So when I was in college, I don't think you know about this. So I did like a part-time security gig at night, and like for this like these grounds that were trying out this carnival, right?
Mhm.
And dealing with the carnies was the most horrifying experience I've ever had.
I can believe it.
And ever since then, I was like, nope, don't want to fuck with them. Don't want to go. I mean, it was they were the. Again, I hate to be derogatory, but it was some of the. Maybe it was just that, dude. You got a piece of skin hanging off your lip.
It's
now.
not skin. It's that fucking Loctite.
Whatever.
Fucking
It was horrible. It was horrible. So, but yeah, you know, the kids want to go to Disney World. I would love to do it like during Christmas or something. You know.
I'm going next year. I mean, 2020.
Yeah, well, we need to organize that, man. We should have some leave saved up by then.
Next one is from Caleb. Shout out to Caleb. He's actually looking out for me here soon. He said, "Hey, Nerd Rage, sent the below over to Shadowcast a few weeks ago, but after thinking about it, I'd like to hear all of your opinions. As a heads up, the questions are a bit long, so feel free to use or not use anything in the conversation. Scenario 1. You're scrolling through Facebook when all of a sudden you start getting 100 plus PMs regarding a new release that just dropped. The thing is a work of art, damn near a grail piece you've always waited on ever since you bought your first DTOF. However, it's costly. We're talking Flames toys or higher money here, so $300. You're the significant other you're also short on shelf space and near critical mass with a significant other who's one Toys R Us trip away from taking the kids to her mom's forever. What are you Gamoraing and willing to sacrifice in your current collection to make the space and funds to swap out for this new item? Doesn't have to be a Transformers either. Could be any new 1/6 Bram Stoker's Dracula, but something has to go from your current collection to cover it.
All right, quick question before we answer this. Did Justin get a proton pack?
Yes.
How is it?
I don't know.
He hasn't talked about it?
Briefly, but he's been missing off the show the last 2 weeks. His kid was sick and then went on vacation.
Damn it. I really want to talk to him about that.
Hit him up.
So my Grail level item, dude, I saw this fucking video. And it's like one of those trucks that holds cars in the back, like fucking Ultra Magnus. It might as well have been Ultra Magnus. And you see the fucking Ecto one on the bottom, and then fucking the Batmobile 89 on top.
But what would you 86 for?
Wait it. I'm not fucking done yet. They pull forward. In front of Ecto 1 is the DeLorean. Above that is the fucking Jurassic Park vehicle. And there was a couple other ones like the buggy. There's like Captain America's motorcycle or some shit. I'm just like, I was like, dude, I would run into that driver and carjack his shit right now. Anyway, so what would I give up? So we're talking like maybe a proton pack for $300 would probably be the range. So I really want that. What would I give up for my collection? I don't know. Half of the Warhammer shit I'm not using.
Yeah, I would give up almost anything on this set of Billy's behind this wall. Like
The Transformers?
No, like on the set right on this wall. So like the He-Man shit and the G.I. Joe shit.
Oh, okay,
and,
okay.
All that stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, that sort of is my...
You've got so much to choose from.
Yeah, but...
But what if you had to get rid of... All right, let's change the question. What if you had to get rid of a type of thing? Like Marvel, all your Marvel stuff, all your DC stuff, all your Star Wars stuff. It had to be the whole section.
He-Man. He-Man.
Really, He-Man?
That'd be the first one to go.
He-Man?
I don't have a big connection to He-Man. Like I liked it as a kid, and I dig the
I
characters.
mean,
and stuff.
I'm sure you got some like whack ass like mask or something out there that's not very good.
That's my stronger connection.
Really, He-Man's the worst one out there.
It's not the worst one out
Like
there. If you're
the
talking
Mega
quality.
Man shit you got.
I don't have any Mega Man shit.
The Pikachu down there.
Okay, yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pikachu can go.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
yeah.
I don't think you put enough thought into this question.
Well, like this, like I mean, I don't even consider it like I'm gonna get $5, $10 for that, maybe. Like.
So you would keep those Marvel things up there?
Over He-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm not a diehard He-Man guy.
Yeah, but you got to have He-Man on your list.
And that's why they're there.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't need that on your list.
Well, I enjoy that more though.
Okay.
All
right.
So,
Dude,
yeah.
I think I found the sweet spot in this microphone.
You say it every week.
I know.
It's question 2.
Question.
For the parents out there, there's no doubt companies have been banking hard on nostalgia to make a buck in the past decade.
Absolutely.
Considering the amount of Hollywood movie reboots we've all had to endure, and how many TV shows from our childhood have come back, thinking about the Thundercats announcement this week and recent shows like DuckTales, do you think the impact of these franchises on our kids would have been the same without nostalgia and basically re-hooking the parents to get to the new generation? He says he has 2 kids, a 6-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. And if he looks at the toys we buy them, it's usually franchise his wife or him have a connection to. Would my daughter still like Star Wars or My Little Pony if daddy and mommy didn't like it too? We're only mildly trying to relive our childhood through them. So second part of this question is, what new and original cartoons, toy lines really hit home with your kids and in your eyes will be as big on them as something we grew up loving?
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. Like even the shit that they're into that I'm not into is still rehash shit. Like they really love Pokemon.
Mine don't.
They really love Sonic.
Mine don't.
So but that's not new to their generation. That's my brother Ben's generation. The Pokemon shit and Sonic was us.
Dude, I'm thinking like my kids don't like shit.
Yeah, mine aren't passionate about anything.
My
really.
daughter, no, she's passionate about playing the piano, knitting,
Mine aren't.
sewing, gymnastics, and reading.
Mine are passionate about like doing shit, like going on a trip,
Yeah.
doing stuff like that. Like they get super excited
My
about.
middle one likes to read and softball right now.
Yeah,
My youngest one, she does like to watch TV. She's the one who likes to watch TV the most. But I mean, she does like Batman and she does like Star Wars, but not like, hey, she likes Groot. I guess Groot she's into.
yeah. My kids like they're just not. They're not head over heels for anything.
Yeah.
And I've never pushed any of this shit on them.
Nope.
Like Jaina got into Transformers because I was watching Transformers and she just sat in there and started hanging out and thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And then she got out of it. Star Wars is like
Thanks,
everywhere.
Michael Bay.
Star Wars is everywhere in my house. Like,
Yeah.
So they've just grown up around Star Wars, but they like Star Wars. That's probably their favorite of my shit.
Yeah.
But they don't give real fucks about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. If
just
we
sorta
like-
up for the ride.
Yeah.
Going for the excitement to the theater and getting a snack and watching it with friends
Yeah.
is far more enjoyable to them than the actual film.
I agreed. Yeah, I agree. Our kids suck.
Yeah. Let's see. And then we have another.
Just kidding, kids. We love you.
Yeah, they're great. And then a question from James. He said,
They're not going to be broken.
even though Joe KW will never experience the fulfilling feeling of becoming a parent, what are some of the things your parents did with you that have you second guessing about doing it with your kids?
What if Joe is a father? He just doesn't know about it.
Examples include a sip of beer. Then he's not a father. Examples include a sip of beer, sitting on your lap, pretending to drive down some back road, operating heavy farm equipment, etc. Also, what is something nerdy that your parents or kids would do, and have you done it with them? Tell JD he's doing an awesome job on Facebook. Later, gents. I don't know. So my dad never let me cry, and I let my kids cry, but I also don't let my kids cry for physical pain. I only let them cry for emotional pain. So, like, if their feelings are hurt, or Jaina was, like, getting picked on in school, like, her first year, and she came home and was crying about it, and, like, I sat there and let her cry, talk about it, whatever she wanted to do, but, like, if she falls down and scrapes her knee, suck it up, Buttercup. We got to get on with our
You're a
day.
monster.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not mad at you about that. My middle one, Talia, is fucking ridiculous with the crying. And I'm surprised when she face planted, like her face is all fucked up from like the thing. Like she had this like really dark brown line right here, and she messed up her lip. But like, if she gets a little cut, she wants to put a Band-Aid on. Not even a cut. If she's a scrape, no blood, just raw. She had a rug burn. She wants to put a fucking Band-Aid on it, and I'm like, no. And I get fucking pissed at my wife that she let her be such a little wuss about everything.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay, and like I'm whatever. I'm okay with my kids using Band-Aids and all that, because in my head I justify it as it's teaching a bigger lesson, like like you should clean and treat your wounds and all that kind of stuff, and I'm okay with that. But if you're crying on your way to the fucking under the sink to get one, you're gonna get yourself together.
if you get a cut, you can have a Band-Aid.
Right. No, I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about this.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. And Selena's the same way with a Band-Aid.
Oh,
Can't wait to put a Band-Aid on
I
something.
can't stand it.
But, like, it doesn't bother me, but what does bother me is falling down and crying. Like, if they're in real emotional distress from some shit going on in their little lives, by all means, get it out. But, like, we're not just going to be going around crying at the drop of a dime.
When I leave here, I'm putting them in a jiu-jitsu class. They need to feel the pain.
And they said, what is something nerdy that your parents or kids would do, and have you done it with them?
I mean, I painted with my kids, modeled with my kids.
I've done some of those little beads with them, like they put the beads on the thing and you iron it. I've done some of that, and I've drawn with Jane.
Yeah, I've drawn as well.
That's about it.
What do you think? Anything else nerdy? I mean, played nerdy games. I played Magic with my kids.
Yeah, I've played
Magic the Gathering.
I played board games with my kids.
Yeah, and I've taught my oldest how to play Warhammer.
We played Life the other day.
Yeah,
dude. So anything that involves chance, get me the fuck out of there, because I will fuck it up. So like,
did you go to college, Bobby?
I did go to college, and guess what I ended up being?
A janitor.
A teacher. And fucking, they went to college, and Laura was a doctor, and Jaina was a lawyer. They're pulling in $80,000 a year.
Yeah.
I'm pulling in $20,000 a year, I think.
Yeah.
And like 12,000 would have got me on the fast track. I could have probably gotten by. I get hit with every fucking insurance claim, and fucking I'm just playing my life. like I'm not even playing a game. Like I'm just living out my life on this board.
Did you have your army pension in that game?
Yeah, my Purple Heart. So anyway, and then we have a couple Star Wars bits to get through, and then we can get the fuck out of here. So, Thy Will Be Done. We kind of talked about this last week, so I'm not going to waste too much time on it. But it was that article about George Lucas talking about what he wanted to do.
Stupid.
With 789. Just stupid. Dumb. Wheels of the Force are so stupid. But he just says that the next 3 Star Wars films are going to get into the microbiotic world, but there's this world of creatures that operates differently than we do. I call them the Wills, and the Wills are the only ones that actually control the universe. They feed off the Force. If I held on to the company, I would have done it, and then it would have been done. Of course, a lot of the fans would have hated it, just like they did with Phantom Menace and everything else. But at least the whole story from beginning to end would have been told.
Yeah.
They
talk about that someplace else, the Wills. I've heard that before.
Yeah, it was apparently conceptualized before Episode 4.
Yeah.
And then it's in the Rogue One, like the Wills, like that's what the Bays and Chirrut were guarding, was the Wills.
Oh, okay.
And then it is rumored, heavy rumored, that Billy D. Williams will be in episode 9.
Cool.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, and this is fresh off the press, is the standalone films.
There's nothing else before that.
No.
Yeah, there was. There's rumors I just saw before I got here about Snoke and Luke for episode 9.
Okay, what was it?
I thought I put it on there. Oh, it's time for me to go to bed.
Well, let me do this one real quick then while you're
Do
looking
it.
up. Lucasfilm is reportedly putting future installments of the Star Wars story spin-off line on hold. When Disney acquired the studio, it was revealed that in addition to a sequel trilogy in the Star Wars saga, there would be a standalone anthology film that would further flesh out the universe and told narratives to the main lines, blah, 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 blah. Back in May, despite receiving generally favorable reviews and featuring well-known characters from the lore, the film tanked. That's Solo. To date, it's earned just $341.9 million globally and will go down as the first Star Wars film to lose money. The unprecedented development led to many to believe that Lucasfilm will reevaluate their plans. According to Collider, who's often been right, Lucasfilm has pumped the brakes on in-development spin-offs and will instead concentrate their efforts on next December's Episode 9 and the plotting the course for the next trilogy after that. This means the long-rumored Obi-Wan film, which had director Stephen Daldry attached, has been shut down. James Mangold's Boba Fett spinoff will likely also be off the table in the wake of Solos. And that's, dude, it's almost like prophetic. Like, it's the exact thing we talked about last week, where I was like, they're going to take something that had a number of issues happening to it. They're going to see it as, oh, people don't want standalone films. Let's shut that down. And, like, it's just not the fucking case. If you make a movie and you don't have fucking dumbass directors fucking behind it, you don't have all this drama attached to it, like, you don't spend $500 million on a $200 million movie.
Yeah.
You won't have these fucking problems. If you would have spent your natural budget, you'd have been fine at $341.9 million.
Thanks, Kathy Kennedy. I'm just joking. All right. With the rumors of Disney now turning full attention to Star Wars Episode 9, a bunch of new plot rumors have hit the net, including that Snoke and Luke return and that Kylo Ren will be bald, which was first seen in Star Wars The Last Jedi concept art. According to Reddit, Star Wars Episode 9 rumors also include the movie will feature Rey with a new lightsaber, Poe Dameron sporting a beard, and Finn with 2 blast pistols. Regarding how Snoke returned in Star Wars Episode 9, it is said to be currently unknown, but noted it could be a vision up to Kylo Ren. Luke is said to be a Force ghost looking similar to how we've seen him in Star Wars The Last Jedi. There also appears to be nods to the original Star Wars films with noted Kylo Ren and Rey battle similar to the scene in Return of the Jedi. Bear in mind, these could all be false. Check out the Star Wars Episode 9 rumors below. Last Jedi concept art of Bald Kylo. Star Wars Episode 9 has a December 20th, 2019 release date. J.D. Abrams starring Daisy Ridley, blah, 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 blah. So he does look kind of intimidating right there with the bald head.
A lot of that concept art was fucking cool.
Wait a minute.
I want to, you know what I really...
Holy shit.
You know what I want to see?
Dude. Dude. You guys, you look just like him. Now we know what the behind the mask. You don't have his full lips though,
or nose. You know, the other day I was just thinking, like, the one thing I really would like to see in this sequel trilogy at some fucking point in time would be the Knights of Ren. I've kind of given up hope on it.
It's not gonna happen.
No, but like it would have been nice to see.
Okay. Now I'm gonna call bullshit on this.
Well, it's Reddit.
But Rey uses a green crossguard lightsaber that is nowhere near as crackly as Kylo. It's a fine blade that is kind of like the one briefly glimpsed by Ezra in the Mandalorian episode of Star Wars Rebels.
It's like fencing. It's like a fencing blade.
Yeah, is that what it is?
No, I'm just fucking around. But I don't. You know, Reddit rumors are a dime a dozen.
Yeah,
Reddit and 4chan automatically sets off my spider sense. I look for certain people on Reddit to co-sign it, and once it's co-signed, then I know.
Okay.
But anyway, let's wrap it up. Shout out to the rest of the team: Manny, Raul, Joe KW, Dante, Philip. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Marilyn Phil is holding up our Twitter, doing a great job.
Did we talk about Fuck Good last week?
Fuck Good is on our YouTube.
Dude,
Manny
if you have
that.
a chance.
Yeah, check out our
Fuck
YouTube
Good.
for Fuck Good. And shout out to the rest of the Cool Table, Shattercast Uncut, Into the Realm, Beer and Vultures 40K, Plastic Fanatics, Stasis Lock, Toy Detox, Building Up to It, Breaking the Mold, and Fresh Communications.
Hey guys, make sure you check out our Patreon. really does help us out.
We've
We
been
gotta-
spoiling you on Patreon. I
Yeah.
hope if for those people on Patreon, let us know in the comments if you guys are happy with the content. We've been doing like 4 or 5 extra things a month recently,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they've been mostly audio, so they haven't taken a whole lot of time aside from the recording time and uploading time. So if we want to make sure that you guys are happy. So if you're not happy, let us know, and if you are happy, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you need more, let us know.
Yeah,
Because that $15 tier is coming.
something's happening. I'm not the Jedi. I should be.
And with that,
More.
great tits.
Tight dick
Oh,
player.
speaking of great tits, my new thing now, I was on this is just caveat, just real quick. So I've been on Pinterest looking for terrain setups, right? And all of a sudden there's just like this chick, just this picture of this chick in clothes, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Keeps on popping up in this thing. So finally I click on it, and she pulls up her shirt, and her tits drop out, right?
Okay.
And they're nice. I'll show them to you in a second. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? What is this? And apparently, it's a thing called tit drop, and it's like my new favorite thing. I fucking love it. Just this. Ready? Pulls up shut. Tease a little bit. Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, oop.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Well,
Great boobs.
funny you bring that up.
Yeah, look at them.
Funny you bring that up because just recently, speaking of tight dicks, I too was on the internet